Welcome to Big D Energy. My name is Stick, filling in for Neil Rule. We could say Nick Leach is filling in for Darren McCarty.
And Joique Bill is filling in for Joique Bell.
Joique's always on time, that's why.
Never late.
Never
always
late.
On time. You know, I'm just happy that now you know how I operate, how it works. So you're never nervous, but the people that you work with,
yep,
he's always on time.
Joique's a smooth operator over here.
I've grown to trust Joique. Like, oh, it's 1 minute till game time. Joique will be here. Don't worry. Don't worry. I trust Joique.
Always have
consistent.
Consistent.
Before we get the show going, though, it's Veterans Day, so obviously we got to thank anybody who's ever served this country in any capacity.
You can't say it enough.
Thank you for your service. Thank you for allowing us to do what we do on a regular basis. I say this all the time on these days, and even on days where we're not supposed to be celebrating and stuff like that. But if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have the job or the life that I have here in this country that I love so much, and the free speech that I get, and we get to come up here and nobody regulates us. Nope. Nobody tells us what we can and can't say, and that's all because of the people who fought for this country and fought for our freedom. So thank you very much, and if you're a vet, enjoy your day, and just know that you provide all of us with such great freedom. So thank you. Can't say it enough. Thank you. We got a lot of stuff going on in the show today. We're going to qualify somebody to get front row tickets to the Detroit Thanksgiving Day game in our turkey games. Plus, we have all-pro guy. His name is Lomas Brown, a legend for the Detroit Lions.
Big Low.
You know him? Do you know him well, Joique?
Yeah, good friend.
Good friend?
Yeah, good friend.
Oh, also, the morning show had Rob Murphy on this morning, the president of the Motor City Cruise, and he said he lives like right across the street from you.
Joique's got no idea who he is.
I haven't met Rob yet.
You haven't met him?
I haven't met Rob
he
yet.
told me to give you, he's like, tell Joique that I was here. So there you go, Joique. He was here.
What's up, Rob?
Hey, you did your job. That's all that matters.
Yeah, that's all I did. But let's get into it, man. Obviously,
No. He's the coach of Eastern Michigan, too, right?
He was the coach of Eastern Michigan.
Yeah, I know Rob.
Now he's the president
Yeah.
of operations for the Motor City Cruise.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He's the president, yeah.
Oh,
That's
congrats to
Rob.
him.
Come on, you know Rob.
I know Rob. I know Rob Murphy. I know Rob.
Great guy, man,
Yeah.
and a great interview this morning. But let's talk about it, obviously. Lions taking on the Steelers this Sunday. Joique, you think the Lions are going to get their first win this Sunday, or no chance against the Steelers?
Like I said yesterday, I don't know what Lions we're going to get. I don't know what team we're going to get. I don't know if we're going to get the Bengals Lions or if we're going to get the Baltimore Ravens Lions. I don't know. I just don't know. It's just that inconsistent. And for me, that's always been my concern with this team is the consistency, because we do have some talent on the team. I'm not going to say the guys don't have any talent. They do have talent. They're in the NFL. They're on the NFL team, so they have talent. It's just pound for pound. It's just like, do they want it? And I think them coming off this bye week, they were able to leave and get a mental break and kind of get away from it all and come back fresh and rejuvenated. I think this might be an opportunity, and this could be me just being a diehard Lion fan and loving Detroit. I'm always say, you know what? We will have a shot to win. I think we have a shot this week.
Given Sunday, right?
Any given Sunday, I think we have a shot to win. And if the Steelers play the way they played last week, I definitely think we'll have an opportunity if we play the way we played against the Baltimore Ravens.
How you feeling going into this weekend, Leach?
I go back to what Joique kind of said a while back, like when they were kind of preview the season, or we're a couple games into the season. He sat there and said that, they're going to win a game that they're not supposed to win, right? So you went into Chicago. We went to Chicago. Everyone thought we were going to win that game. Got murdered.
Didn't.
Cincinnati walked all over us. So this was kind of the game. Like when you said that, I kind of circled on the calendar. As like, okay, maybe that's the one that we kind of sneak by, because you're going.
I said the Browns. Yeah, I thought we were going to sneak by the Browns. I didn't think we were going to beat the Steelers, but judging by the way they played, this might be the game that we might sneak out with a win.
Well, we added a new piece to the puzzle yesterday.
Yeah, we did.
The Lions went out and got Josh Reynolds, wide receiver. He was playing in L.A., and they've claimed him. We only owe him about $500,000 for the season, so it's a good bargain pickup for us. He's got some history with the top brass with the Lions, because obviously he played from the Rams. My worry about this, though, is when we brought in Matt Patricia and we brought in Bob Quinn, we also brought in a ton of Patriots, ex-Patriot players, and we tried to do it the Patriot way. Are we falling into that same trap again? Now we're trying to do it the L.A. Rams way, because we seem to be bringing in a lot of Rams.
You know what, though? I won't say a lot of Rams. I mean, we got Jared Goff, but we got a great.
We got Goff. We got Brockers. We now have Reynolds. We got Holmes.
But this is what it is, though. I mean, Holmes is the reason these guys are here because he knows these guys, right? And usually, when you go to battle, you want to go to battle with guys you know, right? You want to go with guys you know. You kind of, and so I'm not gonna sit and say we're trying to do it the Patriots way because the way we're doing it, I mean the LA way. Because the way we're doing it, it has never been done. This hasn't been done yet with the coaching staff we have, with the front office people we have, with John Dorsey coming in. I don't think this is that type of play, and I don't think it's that type of ego in this locker room or in this organization.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I mean, look, we know what the wide receiver situation is. We lost Cephas. Perriman's gone. We signed him, let him go. Williams is gone. So this was just a move to necessarily, one, to add depth, but like – he's probably going to come out and be your number one guy, if we're being honest here. So, I mean, I don't hate this move. I get like he was a former Ram, but he just came off a pretty good season last year. I mean, he had started 13 games, was averaging 11.9 yards per reception, a couple touchdowns. So this is a guy that one Goff is familiar with and has some, I guess you could say, chemistry. So I mean, this is just something that this team needed to at least try to compete week in and week out. So I mean, it's better. I would rather have a guy like him versus going out and trying to claim Odell, which a lot of people were yelling for.
Yeah, Reynolds isn't going to be a problem child. We know that in the locker room. He's a pro. That's what he is. But I'm just like, I saw it yesterday and I was like, oh God, here we go again. We're trying to emulate somebody else. Like, just for once in my life, I want it to be the Detroit way. I don't want to try to pull a bunch of players from another team. Like, I want us to build this thing up.
What's the Detroit way?
We've never had the Detroit way. Honestly, like the closest we came is back when we had Sue and you guys playing in the 2014 team. You know, I could go back to the 90s when we had Perriman and Sanders and the great offensive line that we had there. And there's never been a Detroit way, and I want to establish that. Eventually I want a team to like steal from us like we've been trying to do from everybody else because we're not a leader in that capacity. So what do you think the Detroit way is, Joique? I mean, when you were talking about Goff not playing the Detroit way, a lot of people commented, well, what is the Detroit way?
The Detroit way, I don't think it has anything to do with going out against like specific people. The Detroit way is, I believe, just a mindset, is a mindset what you have of the way you play the game. And the way we play the game here is similar to the 2014 season or the 2011 season with we have guys with that. You know, we just had that extra edge, you know, and we had that heart to, you know, we're not going to let the person in front of us beat us. And you know, sometimes we feel short, but, you know, if we're going to go down, we're going to go down swinging and we're going to put up a fight. And I think it's just a mentality. That's the
right.
Detroit way. That's the
bad boy, like the bad boy mentality is what we need for every mentality. Sport.
And so me, you know, being here and playing at Wayne State University and being in the city and seeing the growth of the city, and that's what I see. That's my idea of the Detroit way. I don't think it has anything to do with as far as, all right, we're bringing a guy here from there. Well, if he plays with that Detroit mentality, then we need him here. And so that's my idea of the Detroit way, is that.
Yeah, unfortunately with the Lions, we don't really have anything we can point to. You know, like the best is the 2014 team because you guys played your ass off.
Well, from this team, we got some things that we can point at to say, you know what, that's the, you know, the Sewell encounter with, you know, with Aaron Donald. Right. That's the Detroit way. And I'm not backing out. You know, being a young player coming in and having that mentality. That's the mentality that this whole team and the whole, like, every person on the team needs to take that approach when they're playing this game here in Detroit. When we went over to Ford Field and we had the coaches' brunch when they first got here, and Dan Campbell was kind of addressing some of the guys that were there that wasn't a part of the team. He said one thing that is going to stand out for the team this year and that they're going to have it all around the building is the word grit. Like, we're going to have grit here. Like, we're going to have this posted all around the locker room because this is what we need. This is the Detroit way. And when I heard him say that, and I was like, yeah, that is the Detroit way, you know. And you look at certain games, where you guys, you know, we get into these dog fights, these dog fights, and you look around, you see who's fighting. You know, and I remember we were playing the Giants, and we ended up losing that game. But I had one of my old linemen. They came out and said, "Listen, man, I was playing hurt, but what happened was I'm looking at Joique, and he's scrapping, he's fighting, like he's fighting for every yard. I can't let him down. Guys like that makes me play a little bit harder. And so that's what we need on this team, where you have guys, playing for their brother, playing for the guy beside them. And you know what? When you can hold your teammates accountable, you can see what they're doing and see how they're playing the game. It makes you play that much harder, man. I'm telling you, it's almost like it's an inspiring story. Right. And so when you get inspired, and the next person, and that's kind of when the mentality comes from with Sue. Sue had that mentality that rubbed off on everybody else, and we had always been the team where, teams would look at us and cross it off as a win, and he came in like, no.
Yeah, you're gonna feel us when you play us.
Exactly. Like if you win, you're gonna wake up tomorrow with some bumps and bruises. That's what it is. The black and blue league.
Well, people are agreeing with you in the chat right now. Robert says Joique is right. Obviously, MCDC said yesterday the Detroit way is a strong D that comes first with an explosive run and pass game. And other people are saying low key, Joique created Detroit versus everybody. D. Smitty's giving you credit for all that. Tommy Walker, we got to give him a shout out too.
Yeah. Tommy Walker, Will, all those guys over there. Shout out. And I think I talked to Will. I think it was Will, and we was talking about. He like, man, when you did that interview, we were already doing good, but we really shut up after that. Right? And to me, it was already a big deal, And Detroit versus everybody. That's a true statement. It's not even. It's no over exaggerating. It's none of that. It really is Detroit versus everybody. That's just how I feel.
Well, and people kind of take it out of context too. It's like, oh, they think it as everybody's always picking on Detroit, and that's not what it really means. It's just like when you're from Detroit, people don't really give you that chance, right? So I grew up in Detroit. I go to Wayne State. I went to Wayne State. So it's just more or less trying to break that habit. It's like when someone comes to town or you're out of town and someone's freaking out about something, you're like, I'm from Detroit. I'm not scared of that. So it's more of a mentality. I think that Joique's trying to explain that. It's just you're not going to get fazed by anything, and you're going to stand up and try to give it your all. I think that's what the mentality that needs to be. That's what that team in 14 kind of established here with Sue is they didn't back down from anybody. They didn't back down from the Saints. They didn't back down from the Patriots. It was just all up top that you're going to go out, give it your all, and that's what really needs to be the embodiment of the city and the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, to me, the Detroit versus everybody slogan just means we're on an island. Nobody's got our back. It's us versus everybody. That's it. We're on our own. We got to figure this out. When the auto industry was going under, the government didn't give us a bailout. The country didn't give a damn about Detroit.
And what happened? Someone who has ties to Detroit came and bought up half of downtown, started to build a business, bought 17,000 employees in the downtown Detroit, and now look, and that momentum has taken the city. And now, if you go to downtown Detroit now, I'm not even saying this because I'm from here, but if you go to downtown Detroit, it's top 5, one of the best downtowns in the country to me. I've been around. I've been to L.A. Seattle downtown is nice. Chicago is nice. Obviously, New York is going to be up there, but Miami, Houston, Dallas, all these downtown, I got love for the cities out there, but none of the downtowns are even close to Detroit downtown.
Yeah, we're the only major city with all 4 sports teams within walking distance, and outside of New York,
the Browns might. I think the Browns might all be downtown too, but
ours are all within a block of each other.
Yeah, all of them.
And then the theater district too in Detroit is the biggest outside of New York. I don't know if a lot of people know that, but we have the Fox, we got the DSO, we have the Fillmore, and all that stuff right there. Yeah. That's the largest collection of theaters in the nation outside of New York City.
We might be out there for one of. We might be top 5 number as far as entertainment cities.
Yeah. Well, I even look at celebrities and stuff that come to Mark Wahlberg shot all the Transformer movies here, and this is one of his favorite cities in the country and in the world. He put a couple Wahlburgers here now. There's one right here in Royal Oak.
Yeah, one in Greektown.
Yeah, one in Greektown. So when people come here, it's one of the most underrated cities that you could go to because it's just not a destination that you're let me go to Detroit for the weekend.
What you can do, I tell everybody, the hard part is getting people to come. The easy part is getting them to stay. Yeah. That's the easy part. And so if you like how you said how Mark Wahlberg, he comes down here, he opens up a lot of businesses here, and he's always here in the community. But I think it's time, we're about to start hosting Super Bowls, and the thing is now is I think we're 2,000 keys short, basically, of like hotel rooms. And so now, if you look in downtown, over the past few years, they've been building hotels, and they have like 3 more hotels that's going up right now. And it's kind of like we're growing as a city, and we're getting there. And so, I mean, when they come up here for the Super Bowl, whenever it may be, we get I don't know what it might be, but they got to do the whole draw thing. But if we bring it back here, I guarantee you, like, Detroit is going to be one of those destination cities. Like, wow, we didn't know all this was here.
Right. Would you bet on it, Joique?
I would bet anything on it. Everybody, they're going to want to come here, go to the riverfront, and just look across and see Canada.
Yeah, well, I'm betting on Detroit, and I think everybody else should be betting on Detroit, too. And if you're a betting man like me, there's only one place for you to be, mybookie.com. So if you're betting on the football game tonight, you're betting on the Lions beating that spread of -9 that the Steelers have on Sunday, you can do it all right there, mybookie.com. Make sure when you sign up, you use promo code Woodward to let them know where you heard about it. And, yeah, this is a big city. We're betting on Detroit, and you can bet at mybookie.com. Go do it today.
Tony is a third-generation logger that has a simple, practical approach to life and work. That's why his Coast DX342 knife is perfect for him. The stainless steel blade is rust-resistant and made for all-weather use. And the double roll-lock safety ensures that it will never inadvertently close when he doesn't want it to. That's why Coast is trusted tough.
Welcome back to Big D Energy live on the Woodward Sports Network. You're also listening to us on The Roar, so thank you for that. My name is Stick, filling in for Neil Rule, and then we have Nick Leach on the desk, filling in for Darren McCarty. Also, a big holiday for Darren McCarty, too. Not only does he do so much for the vets, he's celebrating 6 years of sobriety today, so let's give it up to
Shout
Darren.
out to D-Mac. I was able to kick it with D-Mac last night, so they had the... was it the thing that Jennifer puts on for the media people?
Yeah, the Detroit media.
We're at bowling at the warehouse, and we're just sitting down, we're talking, man. Just very, and D-Mac is a very interesting guy, man. It's very interesting. If you sit down and just chop it up and just talk to him, like, he's very aware of himself and things that's going on.
Super introspective guy.
Yeah, for sure. So we was able to sit down and talk, man. Yeah, I mean, I like talking to D-Mac, man. He always brings out another side or makes you think about different things. So I like the way his mind works.
Yeah, no, we've been lucky enough to work with him here for almost a year now. And, at first it's like, Darren McCarty's joining the network. You're like, oh, my God, the guy's such a badass, and he is what he is, the Claude Lemieux thing. But then you meet him, and it's just like, he says just how much therapy he's gone through to become sober and what he's found in his medical marijuana and stuff like that. And he said he's invested a lot in his brain, and he really has, because he's a cerebral guy. Like, you may just think he's some thug out there on the ice because he can beat the hell out of you, but D-Mac is a deep thinker and just a great human.
Yeah, one of my favorite things I kind of tell people about D-Mac is that we went to like a media day at Detroit Golf Club for the Rocket Mortgage Classic. Bryson DeChambeau was there, and a lot of media people that he's known for a long time. And me kind of just getting into Woodward Sports and being there. There wasn't one time where like someone came up to him and had a conversation and he didn't acknowledge me. He introduced me to every single person that was there. Brad Galley, Jennifer Hammond. It didn't matter who it was that came up. So like for me, like as person who hasn't been in media, who hasn't been around that kind of light, like that sticks with you for a long time. And I tell that story to everybody because it just lets you know what kind of person Darren is.
Yeah. And that's how we feel about you too, Joique. We love you too. Just want to let you know. When Joique shows up to softball and rips home runs, it's like, yeah, I know Joique. Joique's the man. He's a good guy.
Yeah, I got to see that in person. I haven't seen that yet.
We got video. We got video of it, baby. So Thursday Night Football tonight, we got the Ravens taking on the Dolphins. We're going to talk a little bit about OBJ coming up down the road, but one of the teams I think he could go to is the Ravens.
That's the best fit.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the best fit for him.
Okay, well, let's save that conversation for a little bit, but let's get into the game right now. Tonight, obviously, everybody's probably got the Ravens in this game. The Dolphins are plus 7.5, which is a pretty decent spread, actually, because the Dolphins, as much as you don't love them, what Brian Flores has done with that defense, I loved them last year on defense. This year hasn't been as good, and they've been struggling with some quarterback stuff with Tua being injured and whatnot, but I like what Flores has done in Miami.
Yeah, I mean, look what happened in the NFL last week. I think there's 7 underdogs or something won last weekend. So who knows? I mean, that could still be happening this week.
I don't see that happening.
I personally, I don't either. But I'm just saying, it's kind of in the air right now. But it's
a league, though. I mean, anything can happen in this league. But when you're going against a guy like Lamar Jackson, and what he's been doing, and what he's been able to do, and how people are saying like he can't lead a team back, and he shows you, because they could have very well lost last week, very well. And he brought him back in the fourth quarter, brought his team back and won. I think you have a guy like that on your team, the sky's the limit. I don't see them losing tonight. This is a game that they don't necessarily need, but they have to win this game to kind of solidify. No, I'm legit, and this is Lamar Jackson. Everyone knows how legit Lamar Jackson is.
I saw the stat this morning that blew my mind about Lamar Jackson. It's his red zone stats for his entire career: 59 touchdown passes, 15 rushing touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
Ridiculous.
In the red zone. For his career. Like, it'd be one thing if you had 0 interceptions for a season, but for his whole career, and I know he's not the pass-first quarterback, so he's obviously not passing as much in the red zone, but at the same time,
59 touchdowns.
You win when you're not turning the ball over in the red zone.
I want you to hear that. I want you to hear what you said, though. 59 touchdowns and 15 rushing. It sounds like pass first to me.
It's amazing how much this guy still doesn't get the credit for what he's doing. I mean, what was that Sunday night or Monday night game a couple weeks ago? He threw for over 400 yards and led him back against the Colts. Like, you always bring up who's the best quarterback in the league, and you hear it this year. It's Matthew Stafford. It's Kyler Murray. No one talks about Lamar Jackson. And consistently for the last 2 years, he's been the most consistent quarterback out there.
They take him for granted?
You know what it is? It's not sexy anymore. We've seen it already. What's next? What's new? All right, man. And I don't want to say that on the air. But you know what it is. But you always looking for something new. All right. If you look around, like Tom Brady is still Tom Brady, but he's not getting the recognition, even though he should be.
Right.
A lot of because. Everyone knows who Tom Brady is. Everyone knows who Lamar Jackson is, and they're going to talk about them in the media. But right now, that's not the hot topic. And so you go watch ESPN, the Sports Center. They go in there to have the producers say, "Hey, talk about this guy. Hey, we're going to talk about this guy today." And right now, Kyler Murray's the guy to talk about. That's just what it is.
Yeah, I like Kyler Murray. I like Cliff Kingsbury's offense. But, when we're talking about Lamar Jackson, I think that's it. Like, now it's just expected for him to do that stuff. So when we saw it the first couple of years, it was like, wow, this is amazing. This is something we've never seen before. But now it's like, yeah, all right, I've seen it. But I'm still impressed by him every single time I see him play.
It's like this. You go to an amusement park, you hop on that ride the first couple of times.
Right.
And, woo! And after about, the 6th or 7th time, you're just like, okay. It's still fun, but
And he's special in prime time too. Like he can't miss television either. I know as a person that loves the NFL, anytime you can catch him in prime time, like you don't see a lot of his maybe 1 o'clock games unless you got Red Zone or something like that. But he has some sort of magic, at least for me when I watch him, that is like you have to get to the television and see what he's going to do. Even like, granted, the Dolphins aren't that good, but he's going to do something tonight that's going to be a highlight reel or something that you're going to want to talk about tomorrow.
And that's what pisses me off about that Ravens loss for us even more, because the Lions did such a good job containing this like awesome electric player, and then Justin Tucker comes in and kicks a 66-yard field goal. And like, to me, that field goal, I have PTSD from it, because it's hurting more now the longer we get away from it. Yeah. It hurt that day, but now that we're still sitting at 0 wins, like that field goal now means so much more than it did in that third game.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you the coolest stat, like the red zone for Lamar Jackson is crazy. But did you guys know, like, he made history again this year? That he is the only quarterback to lead the NFL in yards per pass and also yards per carry.
Running quarterback, though.
No, the whole NFL, like just in general, he led the whole NFL in yards per carry, and then also yards per pass at some point this season, and that's never been done before. And so stuff like that, should be blown up, but you don't hear about it.
You never really played with a mobile quarterback when you were playing, did you, Joique?
I played Mike Vick.
You did play with Mike Vick.
Yeah.
What were those practices like?
I caught him in Philly. So he wasn't running too much. I think he was, more of a passing quarterback. Man.
Okay.
But I remember catching his passes in practice and towards the tail end of the year. and they hurt.
Was it weird catching a left-hander's passes too? Because the ball's spinning different, right?
It's spinning different, and so you have to kind of adjust to it. And those probably the two hardest passing quarterbacks I play with is Mike Vick and Matthew Stafford. Like when they throw you that ball in December, it felt like the laces felt like, and I found out the tricks of the trade like after I finished playing, like put Vaseline on your hand, put latex gloves on top, and then put your football gloves on top of that. And they'll keep your hands warm throughout the game. I said, wow, I wish I would have known that when I was playing.
I've never heard of anything like that in my entire life. Yeah. That is actually awesome to hear.
Yeah, I would just have on my hand warmer with the package that you put in there, and I would just put my hands in there after each play and warm it up that way. But I was.
Yeah, the crazy thing with Vic too is it was always just like a flick of the wrist. Like he never really had this crazy arm wind up. It was just like boom, 100 miles an hour.
Flick. And his passes speed up as they come to you.
That's crazy.
And so it's crazy. I think they said is Justin. I heard that about Justin Herbert as well. Like his passes speed up as they're coming to you.
Yeah, I mean, you saw Megatron's hands when he was in here talking. Like, his fingers are mangled, and that's all from Stafford. And, they used to say John Elway used to break fingers when he would throw the ball, too, because he had such a cannon of an arm because he was a pitcher in college as well at Stanford. Yep. But, yeah, those quarterbacks with those big arms. And it's tough because when you drop one of those passes or something that's coming at you at 100 miles an hour, people are like, oh, he's a pro. How do you drop that? But if you're running a 4.4 fast as hell down the field and you're trying to catch a 100-mile-an-hour football, that's insane. Like, it's hard as hell.
The hardest one is not actually running down the field. It's actually coming back to the ball because it's coming fast. So, you run a comeback and he sings one in there and you're coming towards the ball. I mean, you have to catch it. It's weird because it's a balance. It's a science to it.
Right.
It's a science of having soft hands, but also having firm hands. So it's like a balance of both, being able to do both. And some of the best players that are known in this game, they mastered it. Guys like Stafford's not Stafford, but like Calvin Johnson, he mastered that. Herman Moore, he mastered that.
Right.
So guys like that. So
you always hear the conversation too, Joique, about hands for quarterback size or for a quarterback, right? What does it mean for difference to have like a receiver or even running back like that has bigger hands that take that blow obviously a little bit less?
No, it's more room. I guess it's more room for injury. You got long hands, but because I think even I don't know. I think even like a guy like Odell, I don't know how big his hands are, but the way he catches the balls are.
He's got like mitts, man.
Yeah, basically he's catching every pass.
All right, let's do this. Who do you got in tonight's game, Joique?
I got Ravens.
Ravens. Who do you got?
Ravens 33, Dolphins 13.
Okay.
All right, I got to give a number. I got to give a number.
Yeah, you can if you want. Yeah.
I'm gonna do 24-14.
Okay. I got the Dolphins covering the spread in this one.
Ooh.
Yeah, I got 27-20. Dolphins cover the spread. Good teams win, great teams cover. That's all you got to say about that. And if you wanted to go bowling, if you haven't heard about bowling, it's an awesome game. You've probably seen it at tailgates where they set up bowling pins and you got to knock them down from afar. I would love to see Michael Vick play some bowling. And you can do it at the Bowling Warehouse in Hamtramck. It's a huge space. You can do all your corporate events there, birthday parties, bachelorette parties, any type of event. Or if you just want a little date night with you and the lady, go on down to the Bowling Warehouse. They have a $2 mystery beer in a machine, which is awesome, and a ton of other great features. You can bring your own food and just have a great night. It's in Hamtramck. Bowling was invented by Detroit because that's what they say. Detroiters make things. We made bowling. So make sure you support local. Go to the Bowling Warehouse in Hamtramck. I know we're doing our holiday party there, and I'd love to see you down there. So have fun. Book your lane today.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
Hire a graduate
of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Welcome back to Big D Energy on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Stick. I'm filling in for Neil Rule today. Terry Foster will be filling in for him tomorrow. Nick Leach is on the desk with us as well, filling in for Darren McCarty, who's celebrating his sobriety, as well as doing some great things for some veterans today. And Joique Bell, always here, always on time, is sitting in his comfy chair. And we're bringing on a special guest, former Detroit Lion great. And actually, I don't like saying former. Detroit Lion great, because once you're a great, you're always a great. Lomas Brown is joining us today because we got some questions about the offensive line and just the Lions overall in general. Hey, Lomas, how you doing, buddy?
I'm great, fellas. How y'all doing? Joique, what up, my brother?
Big Lo, what's up? It's always good to see you, my guy. Now, so Lomas is the epitome. Lomas is the epitome of work hard now during his playing days and live the rest of your life a champion. That's the definition of Lomas. That's right. That's the epitome right here.
I like that. I like that, George.
Yeah.
Well, we love having your voice as a part of the Lions and, just getting your insight. And I know you do your podcast as well. So, obviously, the big news this week is Taylor Decker is back, and they made the decision to move Penei Sewell back to right tackle. So, as a lineman in the NFL, what do you think of that move? Do you think it's appropriate? Do you think they should keep him on the left side? Just how are you feeling about that?
No, I don't have a problem with that move at all. Like I tell everybody, the NFL is a learning curve. I don't care who you come in, what position you come in playing. It's a learning curve. You're going to have to learn how to play in the NFL. It's the little nuances that go with playing in the NFL. And for me, if you could take this young fella, this 20-year-old, 21-year-old offensive lineman, put him on the right side. Let him get his foundation, his footwork. Let him get all that stuff up under his belt. Like I say, he's still young. We know he didn't play last year because he opted out at Oregon. So, it's been a while since, other than this coming into this season where he had real action. So, to me, you give him an opportunity to let the game slow down a little bit for him on the right-hand side because, you face all the team's best pass rushers. As the left tackle, you're going to face all the opposing team's best pass rushers. Just give him an opportunity to get his footwork and his foundation up under him. So I don't have a problem with that move. Plus, it's going to make that offensive line better. He's a better player than Matt Nelson is over there at the right tackle position. So it's just going to make that offensive line better too.
So real quick, now, obviously you know the O-line, you know it in and out, every position. My question to you is, what is it in Penei Sewell that you see that's special?
Oh, my bro. First of all, Joique, his feet, man. He got some good feet, man. Anytime you can get a big 300-pounder out in space to try to cover up on those DBs or cover up on linebackers, he can do that. He's quick. He has the footwork. And I like that he's a technician. I mean, even early, you could just see he's kind of grounded with his footwork, meaning that his initial kick is good. His sets is good. He keeps his hands up in a good blocking position. So he has the foundations for a lot of things.
Lomas experiencing some technical difficulties in his car right there, but I love hearing from him and loving his opinion right now. One of the things I wanted to ask Lomas was, I got a crazy theory about what we can do with Penei Sewell because some people don't want to move him back to the right, some people want to keep him on the left. What about moving him to left guard? And then the left side of our line goes Decker, Sewell, Ragnow when he comes back. And we just tell people, we're running left, try to stop us with these monsters. Is that a stupid idea?
Yeah, it's stupid.
Okay, why is it stupid though?
Huh?
Why is it stupid though?
That's a stupid idea because it would be one-dimensional. So you just stack that side and say, okay, we're going to put it. No, I don't think it. No, spread it out. You're going to have two of our best players on the edge on our offensive line, and then you'll have a strong center right there that's going to make the center. No, you spread it out, And
but the argument is, if we move him to the right side, everything he's been doing his whole life, he's going to have to switch, right? You step back with your left foot, you punch with your right. Now you got to step back with your right and punch with your left. So
it's a different
his
position,
muscle memory is going to be different if you move him to the right.
You know what it is? Like Lomas said, this is a learning curve. You want to weigh in on that a little bit, Lomas?
Yeah, I'm sorry, fellas. I don't know what happened, but yeah, and like I say again, you know, and I've had to play the right tackle. I played the left tackle position my whole career, and in the Pro Bowls, I had to play the right tackle position. And you guys are right; it's an adjustment that he's going to have to make. But again, I just think the benefits of him, like I say, learning the NFL, learning some of the little nuances of the NFL and how to block these defensive ends, you know, how to set on these guys, how to set these guys up too. Because as an offensive lineman, man, you have to be one step ahead of these guys. You just can't keep pass setting the same way and think you're going to have success against some of these great pass rushers. So I just think, you know, he needs that time to learn. He needs to kind of get over that learning curve a little bit. And I think by them moving him to the right tackle position, it's going to allow him time to do that. Left tackle is natural for him. That's a natural position for him. So it shouldn't take as long when he goes back to the left side for him to adjust and get back in the groove of playing the left tackle position. But again, he still needs that learning curve up under his belt.
Lomas, obviously we saw in preseason he struggled a bit at that right tackle position. Do you think that was more of just not playing for a year, he opted out of the year at Oregon? Do you think that was just more him knocking off the rust, or do you think that was an indication of what might happen at that right tackle position?
Well, I agree. That's a great question. I agree. A big part of that was him not playing. You know, that's a big part of that. And yeah, you're right. A part of that is, you know, he's going to have to learn that position. I mean, it's something that's new to him that he's going to have to learn. Look at a guy like Mac Nelson. If you think about this guy, he was a defensive lineman that got converted to the offensive line. He's playing at a pretty good level. You know, he's not that bad playing the right tackle position. So it's something that he can learn. It's something that Penei Sewell, he'll get used to being on the right side for the rest of this year or next year, however long they want to keep him over there. But once he's able, or once they're ready to move him to the left side, I just think, again, that he's going to find his footwork, he's going to find his grooving, and I think that process will be a little easier for him once he's able to move over there.
Yeah, you know what? I think that's a great that he's able to learn both these positions and go through this learning curve, because one thing I've always learned, one thing you learn, that the more you can do in this league, the longer you'll stick around. Right? The more you can do, the longer you'll stick around. That's one thing that always stuck with me when I came into the league, and the coaches would always tell me, well, you know, play special teams. The more you can do, the longer you stick around.
That's in life too.
Yeah, you know.
By the way.
That's in life, and that's right. And those are the some of the same things that you'll learn on the football field that you can put towards, you know, life situations, right? And so you talk about Nelson. Do you think him playing defense has helped him playing that right tackle, kind of knowing how the defensive line thinks and know how he used to think as a defensive player? You think that opened up his eyes and? For sure.
Absolutely, Joique. I've always said that, if you needed somebody to help a defensive end out, go to an offensive tackle. If the same thing, if you needed an offensive tackle to get helped out, go to a defensive end. These guys face each other. They, like you say, they know the little nuances of what these guys like to do. That's the easiest thing to me. That's what I used to do, man. I used to talk to the defensive linemen so much about how they attack offensive linemen. What are some of the things you look to do against an offensive lineman? How do you get this guy off balance? You know, just some of the things that'll help you be successful against these guys. These are the guys that do it every day. These guys can tell you the little things that you need to work on, the little techniques that you need to do to be successful in this league. So, yeah, I agree. I think with Matt Nelson, I think by him playing defensive line, I think that helped him when he came over to play the offensive line because, again, they know some of the things as defensive linemen they like to try to do to the offensive linemen to get them off balance or get them off their game.
All right, Lomas, I got a very serious question for you. You were a part of the 91 playoff win team here in Detroit, our last playoff win and our only playoff win since the 50s. What was that like? Honestly, what was the vibe of the Silverdome in the city? Because, Nick Leach is a young guy. He doesn't even know what it's like to witness that. I was very young when it happened, but I still at least got to watch you guys win a playoff game. What will the city be like when the Lions get to that level again and actually win?
Oh, my God, man. That's funny you say that, man, because I'm telling you, man, they used to tell us all the time in the locker room, if you guys ever won or you guys ever got to the Super Bowl, you would own the state of Michigan, not just the city of Detroit. You would own the whole state of Michigan because this is a blue-collar town.
Right.
That's what it's all about here. Hard-working people, people that put the time in. That's what Detroit represents. And as a football team, that's what we tried to represent back in the 90s. We wanted to be a tough, hard-nosed team that played every game to the end. And I'm telling you, the fans appreciate that. They really do, man. We got some of the best fans in the National Football League. And I say that because I see it. Going out doing radio now and getting the opportunity to go to all these different venues where the Lions travel to, man, Lion fans are there in droves. Lion fans show up at the away game. We just haven't given them anything to cheer about, but they're going to be there. They're going to support you. And just think, man, these are fans that don't live here in the state. True. Just think, like you say, if we had success here and won here, oh, my God, man, you have people coming international. You just have them all, man. I don't think they could hold a parade downtown Detroit.
No, they couldn't.
If we won the Super Bowl. They couldn't.
I always tell people I'd flip my own car and set it on fire in my driveway.
They would have to take all of Woodward. They would have to take all of Woodward and go through every city that Woodward is in, from downtown all the way through Royal Oak, Highland Park, Birmingham, They have to take it all the way down. Pontiac. They had to go all the way down. But I remember I watched a episode. They were talking to former players. They was asking these players, like, what do they miss the most about playing the game? One guy said, I miss all the free food. I miss all the free. We never had to pay at restaurants. We never had to pay. And so you being in the city after you finish playing, I know I have my thoughts on my time in the city. What are some of your favorite restaurants in Detroit? In Detroit.
Oh my God, man! Look,
in downtown, what's your favorite restaurant?
Cruise and Mirrors, Joe Mirror. So you're gonna catch me at Joe Mirror. You're gonna catch me at Cruise and Mirror. You're gonna catch me at the oh God, I'm drawing the blank. The Chop House. I like going over there. Look, we don't discriminate.
Listen,
man, we eat anything.
Listen, so that's funny. So I asked Stick before the show what was his favorite Detroit restaurant, and he said, I might have to say London Chop House. I said mine was Prime and Proper. He said he liked London Chop House a little bit better than Prime and Proper. And what was yours?
Roma Cafe, oldest Italian restaurant in Detroit.
Yeah.
The what?
Oldest Italian restaurant in Detroit.
No, I thought that was Mario's.
That's Eastern Market where Mario's is old, but Roma Cafe is the oldest restaurant in Detroit.
Yep.
Oh, okay, I got to go check it out.
Yeah,
so quick,
it's like a house. You're literally eating in your grandma's house.
For real.
Yeah.
All right, so I told him that London Chop House would have been on there for me. All right, it would have been on there for me if they didn't get rid of the bread pudding. They took it off the menu. They took the bread pudding off the menu. But shout out to my boy Chris Sosi. He owns the London Chop House, man. Good friend, good great guy. And doing a lot of things in the city. So, Lomas, man, we happy that you came on today.
Yeah, really Lomas. Before we let you go, man, you got to pick for Sunday. You think the Lions can get a win finally?
Well, to be honest with you, Pittsburgh really hadn't impressed me that much on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, they have been struggling to put up points. I think if the Lions can come out, and what they need to do is put 4 quarters together, not just start fast or start slow and try to finish fast, or the opposite of that. They need to play 4 quarters, and I think if they could put 4 quarters together, they could keep themselves in this game. Like I say, Pittsburgh, they look good on defense, but offensively, I think they're really struggling. So, yes, do we have a chance? Yes, we have a chance. We just got to be able to put 4 quarters together.
You know what? I agree with you, and that's my biggest concern. What do you think the biggest issue? Why can't we stay consistent? And I understand this is the NFL. You're never going to play 4 good quarters week in, week out, and that was my biggest concern because I knew we had an issue with depth. I know the injury rate in the NFL, and I knew we lost some guys that we weren't going to be able to be consistent or play consistent at play at a high level consistently 4 quarters week in, week out. Now, the thing is this with Detroit, I've noticed this, that when we have a lot of adversity, we play better. When we lose guys, we actually play better. We play
next man up, baby.
It's next man up mentality. Now, what do you think the issue is where we're not playing consistently week in, week out? Is it something that you see that I'm not seeing?
Just the biggest thing for me, Joique, is that I just think the team is so young. I think you got a young team, the second youngest team in the NFL. You don't have a lot of leaders. If you think about it, call out the leaders in that locker room. Just think about who would you say is a leader in that locker room. It's not a lot of leaders on the locker room. You got a first-year quarterback at Jared Goff that's probably still trying to figure out things around here, new atmosphere for him, new coaching staff. So I wouldn't say that he's necessarily the leader on the team. Maybe Tracy Walker. Maybe he's the lead, one of the leaders on the defensive side of the ball. Frank Ragnow, Taylor Decker, they've been injured. So when you got a young team and you don't have a lot of leadership in that locker room, when things start going bad, it's almost like that roller coaster effect. You need a vet or you need somebody in there to kind of calm the waters to keep things on an even keel. And they don't have that yet, I don't think, in that locker room. And it makes it hard, especially, like I say, when you're dealing with the second youngest team in the NFL. So I think their youth is as much of a problem as them not really having any talent on the roster either. I think I just don't think we have. If you look at all the other rosters in the NFL, man, I mean, and look at our roster, it just doesn't compare to a lot of other rosters in the NFL.
Well, thank you so much for your time today, Lomas. We appreciate you coming on to Woodward Sports Network and The Roar. Looking forward to hearing you call the game this Sunday. Have a great Thursday, man, and thank you for our playoff win in '91. Thank you.
So this was the 30-year anniversary.
The 30-year anniversary. Oh, my God.
Year, man. Ain't that crazy?
Get these guys some rings. Get them all a banner. Hey, let's get them something.
Hey, guys. Lomas, let's catch dinner downtown, man. Let's go to Chop House, grab dinner soon, man.
My brother. Let's do it.
All right, I appreciate it.
Lomas Brown, have a great one, Lomas. And Nick Leach, why don't you tell us a little bit about our friends at Coast?
Oh my God, all this food talk's got me hungry, got me thinking about Thanksgiving. I might have to go out and do a little hunting, go get my own bird this year. So, what I'm going to do? I'm going to visit coastportland.com. I'm going to use the code WSN20 for 20% off. And I'm going to go get some gear. I'm going to get a headlamp so I go out there early in the morning, maybe a big machete, chop down some trees, do what I got to do. But make sure you sign up with Coast Crew, take advantage of special discounts, early access to new products, and more. Again, 20% when you use code WSN20 at their website. That's coastportland.com, and go get some good gear. Whether you're a first responder, hunter, whatever you want to do outdoors, they got everything you can need for any product. So, again, WSN20 at checkout.
Woodward Sports is giving you a chance to sit front row on Thanksgiving. All you have to do is survive our squid game. Nope, our turkey games. Listen every day to the Morning Woodward Show at 9 a.m. Big D Energy at noon. and the bottom line at 3 p.m. for your chance to qualify. The winner of Turkey Games will get tickets to the Thanksgiving Day Detroit game.
Hey, it's Thanksgiving. Shouldn't you be in Detroit losing a football game right now?
Plus, a turkey. So if you think you can master our Turkey Games challenges, watch, listen, and win. Make sure you're following @Woodward Sports on all social media or go to woodwardsports.com for additional chances to qualify. May the best turkey win.
I love that. The Turkey Games are coming right here on the Woodward Sports Network. You want to sit front row at the Turkey Day game in Detroit. We got you. We'll be qualifying somebody coming up in 10 minutes, so make sure you're still watching and listening. This is the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Stick. Nick Leach is on the desk. Joique Bell is here. We just got done talking to Lomas Brown. Lots of good football talk today. I love football season, and the fact that we're right dead smack in the center of the season is great. But there's one guy who's out there and doesn't really have a team right now, which I thought he was going to get signed immediately, but it seems like he's kind of weighing his options, and even if he has to take another bye week this week to weigh his options, that's what he's going to do. Talking about Odell Beckham Jr. Of all the places that he could land, it's rumored Green Bay, which I don't want. Keep him out of the division. I don't want that. I don't need Aaron Rodgers to have any other weapons. The Chiefs, I think, is an interesting spot for him to land. I'm not sure how exactly they'll use him because the Chiefs have shown they've brought people on like a Le'Veon Bell, a Josh Gordon, and not really used them at all. The Saints is an interesting spot for me.
Very interesting.
He'd be a pure wide receiver one there and put up some big numbers, I think, with the Saints. And then, of course, the Pats. And like I said, if Belichick can handle our boy Randy Moss, I think he can handle Odell Beckham Jr. But of all those landing spots, where do you think he's winding up?
All right, let's run through them. Put it back up. Not this one, the one with all the teams.
Yeah, so you got the Saints, you got the Pats.
You got the Saints, you have the Pats.
Packers.
All right, so let's go to the Packers. I don't think he's going to go to the Packers. Why? Because we don't know if Aaron Rodgers is going to be there next year. He doesn't want to be there next year, so he's not going to go to a situation where he's going to go to a team for 1 year and then not know who the quarterback is going to be the following year. So the uncertainty there eliminates the Packers. The Chiefs, I can see him going to the Chiefs. I can see that. He can go there. He can be with one of the best quarterbacks. And it's going to be there. He signed a 10-year contract with him. I think he's going to be there. So I think that's a place he can go, be on a team that's been to the Super Bowl, who's won the Super Bowl, and they can be a contender. The Saints, I feel the same way. They can be one player away from making that run, right? From making that run, and and going there in that atmosphere is more of his feel. Right? I think that's home for him. He'll be back home. He has his family there, and that's kind of like a dream to be able to go back and play for your home state. That'll be good from there. I don't see him going to the Patriots just because kind of his lifestyle. I don't think that's the type of atmosphere he would want to be in when the game is over, when the football game is over, the lifestyle, the nightlife. I don't think that's his speed. I think that might be a little bit too slow for him. So I think the next place he goes to, and I don't see why the Ravens weren't on there. Like the Ravens should have been on there.
Ideally, I think that's his best fit. No doubt about it.
The Ravens or the Rams. Like he can go to either team, but I think the best fit would be the Ravens for him.
Well, and the Ravens kind of got that swagger, right? They got that personality. So I get people call him a prima donna or is what it is, but Odell does play the game with some swag. So I think he'd fit right in. Obviously, you got Mark Ingram was there at one time. You have Lamar Jackson. Like those guys know how to play with that swag.
And that's the thing, though. It makes it so interesting because the Saints now they have Mark Ingram back now. Right. So you get a guy. Flint. Right. And so you get Odell.
The biggest question I have there is Trevor Siemian really going to take you to
I think Siemian will be all right. I mean, that offense is kind of just plug and play. You can throw not anybody in there, but you saw, Drew Brees was good.
Oh, Patriots way, huh?
Huh?
The old Patriots way.
Yeah.
You believe in the system, not the player.
Yep. And I believe in Sean Payton's system.
Well, in that case, then you don't need Odell.
Yeah,
no, Odell's different. Odell's different.
Look, I mean, you got Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas just kind of had what seemed like a big falling out there, too. So it seems like that Odell could almost fall in that type of category. That's why I was interested to see that that was one of his maybe listed destinations to go.
You know what?
Because that's
actually
home for him.
thinking about this, I want him to go to the Packers. I want him to go there, be a cancer, and destroy that entire organization. Because after next year, Aaron Rodgers is on his way out. Odell will have flame torched that place to the ground, and I don't believe in their system like I believe in everybody else's. So actually, I'm reconsidering. I want him to go to the Packers so he can burn that whole franchise to the ground.
But what makes you think that he's going to be toxic?
Because he's been toxic everywhere he's been.
He wasn't toxic in Cleveland.
Yes, he was. Why the hell do you think they just dropped him? Because he was a
He didn't want to be there. He didn't want to be there.
He didn't get along with Baker Mayfield, the quarterback. That's kind of an important relationship.
Hey, get him the ball.
Just shut the hell up and run your route, man. You'll get the ball if you're open.
He is open. Give me the ball. He's not.
No, he was an issue in New York when he went on that boat party before the playoffs, and they didn't win a damn thing. And they, all of his teammates.
So him having a good time outside of the locker room
before the playoffs.
Before the playoffs. Okay.
Come on, man. You got to stay focused.
I think they've won 5 games since that picture was taken too.
Huh? Look what that's done to them.
That has nothing to do. Okay, no one said nothing when Jacoby Jones went out and he was drinking these grenade drinks before the playoffs. And he went out there, he ran 109 kickoff back, scored another receiving touchdown.
Results, baby.
But no one said anything there. Because
did they win?
He's a receiver.
Did they win?
Hey, he doesn't have the ball in his hand every single play. That's the quarterback job. Did he go out there? Was he dropping passes in the playoffs? Did he make some key plays? All right, that's what you got to look at. That's what you have to look at. You can't tell him. That might be good for his mental health to get away from the game and then come back fresh and rejuvenated.
He's not Dennis Rodman, man. Quit making like this guy's Dennis Rodman. He's going to Vegas to blow off some steam. Come on. They hadn't made the playoffs in so long. He was supposed to be the leader of that team. You can't do that.
No, don't compare him to Dennis Rodman. The ball hit the rim. Go there. The ball hit the rim. I'm there.
Joique, are you an Odell fan?
Yeah, I'm an Odell fan.
I'm an Odell fan.
That's my son's favorite wide receiver. So,
is it?
And so, that's his favorite wide receiver from 5 years ago where we trained and he was able to train with Odell and it was fun for him. He this is my favorite receiver, and he was able to train with them and see him train. And so I think overall, I don't think he's toxic. He just want to be on a team that's a contender.
Yeah, right. I think so too. He plays with personality. Who doesn't like I get Devontae Adams, arguably one of the best receivers in the entire league, but you don't know a lot about Devontae Adams. Odell, you know what he likes to do. He likes to dance, likes to have a good time. People are going to kind of captivate to that more than to somebody who's kind of reserved and not being boastful. So I enjoy watching Odell. I like his antics pregame. I think it makes the game more exciting. Yeah, I don't mind it.
Yeah.
I mean, when he hit
with the Richard Millie,
when he hit the kicking net and it hit him back in the face, that's dumb stuff that I do. So to me, I was like,
and all that's fine if you're winning. Right? Winning cures all of that. You can be the diva, you can be the distraction, because it's not a distraction if you're actually winning. But when you're doing all that stuff and your team starts tanking and then they ship you to another team and they're like, this guy, he's not even a part of the team. We'd rather not pay him. We're not trying to get trade for him. We're just letting him go because we don't want him a part of this organization. To me, that's two teams. So it's establishing a pattern of behavior. And if you're not there to help the team win, you're not a part of the team, period.
The question is, though, is he being toxic, or he's just saying, listen, I'm not happy here. It's not working. It's a marriage.
The fact that I know about it means it's toxic. If it was locker room based, then you know that. It should stay in the bunker.
Yeah, but do you hear of any falling outs with him and the players in the locker room? Anybody fighting? Do you hear about him arguing with coaches? Or do you just
I heard him and Baker. That was the issue. Him and Baker were butting heads.
Butting head because he wasn't getting the ball.
And his dad was tweeting about the team and stuff like that. Come on, man.
Had nothing to do with you can't control what other people around you do.
I get that, but that's part of the Odell package, though. It's just like the Ball brothers. You're getting the dad if you draft a Ball brother. Sorry.
Hey, I don't blame him one bit for not wanting to play football in Cleveland. Let's hang out
with Cleveland. Nobody wants to be in Cleveland.
Who said that? Noah?
Not everybody. No. I think anybody outside of Cleveland says that.
Yeah.
Just like everybody outside Detroit be like, why would you go to Detroit?
Yeah, well, they're stupid.
Yeah, they are stupid. They are stupid.
So Odell Beckham, we'll see where he winds up. He's weighing his options, which I think is interesting. If I was him,
who are you predicting?
Probably the Chiefs. He's a front runner type guy, and they're in a rough position right now. They got to show that they're making efforts to get better and to get back to where they were.
Joique?
Ravens.
I know they're not on that list, but that's where I think he's going too. It just makes sense. It makes the fit.
And there's always a team that you don't really hear about that sneaks up and grabs them.
Right.
Now, we can sit here and say that, the Ravens not on that list, but hey, they might sneak up.
My favorite thing was when Lamar, they were tweeting at him like, get Odell, get. He's like, why are you tweeting at me? He's like, tweet at the owners.
Yeah, you even had what Von Miller was trying to get him over to the Rams.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. Where the hell would he fit with the Rams?
They just got rid of Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah, but they got Van Jefferson stepping into that, and they got rid of Reynolds. So I guess they could run 4 wide with. That would be crazy. 4 wide with Kupp, with Woods, Odell, and Jefferson.
Yeah, but you don't want to mess with that chemistry. They got good chemistry going right there right now. I don't know if you want to really try to change that up right now.
Listen, man, he just wants to go to a team that's a contender who's winning, and he'll get his fair shots. I mean, they got a gunslinger in the backfield.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? If you like good mixtures and you like making sure everything mixes and blends well together, make sure you pick up some Gypsy vodka, because this will mix well with whatever you want to mix it with. It's so smooth. It's so clean. And my favorite part, Michigan made. It's here. These guys are from Michigan. We like to support local, and this is a great bottle. And we were up at the Michigan State pregame, and we did some Bloody Gypsies as a special, and they damn near sold out of every bottle that they bought because that's how good it was. So if you want a smooth, clean, nice vodka that you can mix with anything or drink straight up like Adam does, this is the vodka for you. Make sure you get it at any of your local stores, and if they don't have it, ask for it by name, Gypsy Vodka.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
Thanksgiving is almost here, and we want you guys sitting front row to see Detroit play, and it's going to be a good game. Hopefully they get that W, but it's just a tradition here in Detroit, and we want to give you a chance at front row tickets. So we're doing the turkey games, and how this works is we're going to qualify people over the next 2 weeks, and then those qualifiers will get to come and compete in the turkey games. If you've watched Squid Games, you kind of know what I'm talking about. You're going to have to do red light, green light. You'll have to do the honeycomb challenge, and we're going to do different egg toss type challenge too. And if you survive all of those and you are the grand champion of turkey games, you get 2 tickets to sit front row at the Thanksgiving Day game. So make sure you're following us on every platform for extra chances to win, and you can go to woodwardsports.com right now to register to qualify as well. But we're doing it live on the show too. So if you're a part of the show on YouTube right now and you're in the chat, all I want you to do is put the word turkey. Just type turkey, and that will be how you enter. Fish is going to draw one of the names. We'll message you with all the details, and you will be a part of the finale of the turkey games right here on the Woodward Sports Network. And speaking of turkeys, Jalen Green, biggest turkey I've ever seen in my life. This guy is such a clown. I'm so glad the Pistons didn't draft this guy. I'm so glad every time him and Cade meet up, Cade gets to embarrass him like he did in Summer League and like he did last night with the Pistons getting their second win of the season, 112-104 over the Houston Rockets. This was a fun game to watch.
Yeah.
And there hasn't been very many fun Pistons games to watch this year. Like, I thought last year's games were a lot more fun to watch. But I loved last night. I loved everything I saw out of Cade.
It was a must-watch game of the season, right?
For the Pistons, at least.
That's what I mean. For the Pistons, there's not going to be very many of those games this year, and I think it lived up to the hype. Granted, like I can say, some of the basketball in the middle part wasn't that good. The second quarter was pretty ugly. I mean, Pistons shot 16 for 48 from the field, or from the 3-point line. So it was a bit ugly, but I mean, you got 2 bottom tier teams in the league. That's kind of what you're expecting going into this.
Right.
Yeah, like the only thing that I had an issue with this team is, like, you have times where, like, you can really put we end up winning this game, right? And I love what I'm seeing from the young guys. And I think it's like a chip on, Jalen Green's shoulder when he plays Cade, and Cade is, he doesn't talk too much, but he talks with his play.
Yep. Right.
And I love it. And I love that, like, I own you. The Aaron Rodgers, I own you, and so I love the way he plays the game. It's not too much. We don't have too much to talk about, but it was a couple plays throughout the game that we'll have a fast break, and then we'll kick it to the guy in the corner to kind of put the nail in the coffin, and we'll miss those shots. And those are the shots we need to make in the future if we want to continue to get better as a team.
Yeah, Cade could have a lot more assists last night had we been making shots. But, to me, the biggest sequence of plays that I was watching last night, I think it was about 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Jalen Green comes down, and he makes a shot, and then Cade responds, breaking the tie in the game with a three-pointer, and then draws a charge on the other end of the court. And that's, to me, the difference between a punk like Jalen Green, who likes to run his mouth, and a guy like Cade, who's going to be about his business and be about playing the game the right way. Back to the Larry Brown, playing the game the right way, because he's doing it on both ends of the court. Jalen Green, 23 points last night. He's a scorer. We know that. That's what he is. But is he a leader of men? Is he somebody that you would want to get behind? No. I mean, you saw him after that dunk talking trash to Cade, and Cade just kind of shook it off. Yeah. And then Jalen Green went scoreless after that dunk. So, he obviously, Cade does his talking with his game. Jalen just does this.
Well, and they asked Cade, too, after that game, did it warrant? He goes, I'll talk back. He goes, I like to talk. He goes, I like to talk when I'm playing, but he goes, it wasn't worth warranting. There's nothing to say back.
Yeah, here's a direct quote right here. It depends on what they're saying about trash talk. I'll talk too. Nothing I heard tonight held any weight. It was all for the cameras. Which he's just saying, this dude's a showman. He's not good. It didn't mean anything. But do you think that was a nice little shade throw?
Yeah, it is shade. But but you also have like Cade is. I'm not disappointed in Cade. I'm happy with what I'm seeing from Cade. And the person that's stepping up and, that he's always going to be out there is Jeremy Grant, man.
Huge game. God. Third quarter.
Huge game. Huge. And these are the type of veterans we need on our team. And when our very first episode, which when we had Sean Baligian here, it was Baligian in the building. We ended up going to Big D. But our first guest on here was Troy Reaver. And I said, Troy, man, you're making a lot of moves here. What is your favorite move so far? And he said, the guy that I'm happy that we got is Jeremy Grant. I'm really excited about this guy.
Right.
I think he's going to be great for us, and I think he'll be a leader. And I'm paraphrasing, and sitting back and watching him last year and watching him this year, he wasn't wrong. This is probably one of the best picks he's made since he's been here. And I'm excited that we have a guy like Jeremy Grant on the team.
Well, yeah, I mean, the Olympics looked like they did him well playing with those guys, and just the third quarter that he had yesterday was insane.
Well, it was almost like his coming out party for the year. He struggled. Him and Sadiq Bey have both struggled early on in the season, and that's why they are 2-8. Sadiq a little bit better last night, 16 points, but still 2 for 9 from the 3-point line. That's a guy that I think a lot of us were expecting, could be that spot up shooter. So that's why even some of these games that we have been in, we haven't been able to take the lead and win, because those two just haven't stepped up to the level. Like, there's expectation on those two guys. Out of everybody on this team, like, we were kind of looking at those guys to lead us, and they just haven't done that. But last night they did a great job of doing that. Jeremy Grant had the best third quarter that I've seen out of a Piston in quite some time. Right. It was so much fun to watch, and it was like
taking it slow, snatch the shows, man. Yeah. But we need players like that. Like we talked about with like certain teams, we say, well, we have young guys on the team, and sometimes when you get into these close games, you have to put these young guys on your back and show them how this is how you win these games. And that's important to have on every team, because if you don't have that leadership, then they're just trying to figure it out on their own.
Right.
Jeremy Grant put the team on his back, and that's what we need. And that's the type of mentality I say it's not just this is a Detroit Lions way. It's the Detroit way with that type of mentality. I'll take over.
That gorilla. Give me that gorilla. There it is.
You got to say it like that. That gorilla.
See, I can't say it like that. I don't have it in me.
Nick, you got it in you.
Like that gorilla.
All right, Art.
I got it.
You got to give me one. That gorilla.
That gorilla.
You don't work on it.
Well, last night, an interesting thing that I'm seeing that Dwayne Casey's doing with Killian Hayes and Cade Cunningham, because that was kind of going to be the thing. Who's going to be running point? Who they're going to move the shooting guard? Looks like Killian's becoming our full-time shooting guard, because even when Cade's not on the court, Killian's not the primary ball handler anymore, but he's showing he's got flashes from the three-point line, and his defense. A lot of people are talking about other things, but his defense has been stellar, and that's what Weaver's been hanging his hat on with Killian.
Well, that's the defense of this team the whole year has been like the thing that mystifies me this whole season. I get they have the new officiating rules about flopping and whatnot, but like even early in the year, you saw the Pistons hold a Brooklyn Nets team, who's an Eastern Conference finalist team, like to under 100 points. That like,
and Beef Stew absolutely bodied our boy, absolutely bodied Blake Griffin.
But games like that, because that's when we played them here. I was at the game, I was watching. It was a couple we missed like a lot of wide open shots, a lot of wide open shots that we should knock down. That can take give us more momentum, and kind of slow them down a little bit. But it's hard to slow down a team when you have Kevin Durant on it. Yeah, a James Harden. Like it's hard to hold a team like that back. You only want to contain those guys, or hope to contain them.
Right.
I will say this team looks immensely better with Cade Cunningham on the floor. I know they kind of expected Killian Hayes to be that floor general, but you saw last night, like you just talked about, Cade was bringing that ball up the court most of the time with Killian kind of playing off screen. And as the year goes on, as we get into next season, Killian's stroke for his shot is looking better and better. He had a few corner threes last night that I think if you can get this guy shooting the ball and putting up 15, 16 points a game, like that adds a whole new dynamic that a lot of us Pistons fans didn't see when he got drafted.
Consistency.
Yep. And Cade's 20 points last night just came like smooth. They were, they weren't the big splash 20 points. He was hitting shots when we needed him. He was clutch when we needed him. He was bringing the ball up. He had that layup within 2 minutes.
He had that 1 3 though. He had that 1 3 when he kind of, just stepped back. Oh, you're not gonna guard me? And he just let it rain. Like that's what we need. That's what I like to see.
Right. You can tell like inside Cade's head, he's talking a ton of trash to people. Like you dumb, but really? He doesn't vocalize it.
But but the look on his face, like he stepped back and he looked and like really just okay, and just took the shot. And you know what? When you make people have to respect your shot and he just can't give you that, that's when you can blow by him.
Right.
Right.
It opens up your game.
It does.
Yeah, and sometimes he's hot shooter, sometimes he's cold shooter. And when you want to deal with your hot and coldness, who do you call, Joique?
You call Northwestern Tech.
That's right.
Start a new career in the industry that's always essential. And what's more essential than the heating and cooling industry? Learn more today. Go to northwestern.tech.edu because soon, probably right now, that PPP loan money is ran out. The SBA loan is ran out. You need a job. You need to work. Hey, call Northwestern Tech. Joique Bell. You have Stick. You have Nick Leach. Fish in the fishbowl. And you got my boy Sawyer. Stay tuned. Big D!
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. Choosing between a 15 or 30-year mortgage can be difficult, which is why we offer the Modern Mortgage, a flexible term that's customized for you. 866-CALL-HALL or chat with us online at callhallfirst.com.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Welcome back. It is Big D Energy on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Stick, filling in for Neil Rule. We have Nick Leach on the desk, filling in for Darren McCarty today. And, of course, Joique Bell, who runs the show.
Gray Sweat Energy.
What's that?
Gray Sweats.
Gray Sweat Energy?
Gray Sweat Energy.
Hey, my eyes are up here, ladies. My eyes are up here. Just want to let you know.
Hey, real quick, we have about 200 people watching right now, about 230, 220. Take the time. Just go like. If you like what we're talking about, just go hit that like button. Subscribe if you like.
There you go.
Just 5 seconds. Go. You got 5 seconds. Just go like it and come right back. We'll wait for you. Go.
And that's the cool part about Woodward Sports is, not only do we have hundreds of people listening on YouTube, we got thousands listening on the app. We got thousands listening on the Roar right now.
Twitter. Go hit like. If people review on Twitter, go hit the retweet. Hit the retweet. Hit the like button. If you like what you're hearing.
I mean, the cool part about this, too, is we got people in our own chat breaking news to us. Like, our boy Denzel just said Cam Newton just agreed to terms with the Panthers.
Oh, I knew he was meeting with them this morning, but Cam Newton to the Panthers? That's a good move for them.
That's what my man Denzel says, so.
It's got to be better than Sam Darnold.
Let's solidify it. Sawyer, you got that? Can you solidify that?
Hey, did Adam Schefter report it? We'll give it a Google. That's how we got to know.
Our boy Sawyer's on it for us.
Yeah, did Corey Woods report it, actually? That's more important.
Now, did Corey report it?
If I haven't heard it from Corey, I don't believe it.
Yep.
If Corey said it, then it happened. So let's wait there. Because Corey, we got about 30 likes on YouTube. I appreciate that. Now we're getting up there.
There you go.
I appreciate the love. We do here at Woodward Sports. Big D Energy.
news from the Twitters. Adam Schefter did tweet out a minute ago, the Panthers reached an agreement with quarterback Cam Newton.
There it is.
So it is
big
confirmed.
news there.
There it is.
Shout out Denzel. Shout out everyone. Denzel Vance.
You know what, though? It's like
Christian
a coming home
McCaffrey's
party.
happy as hell right now.
Yeah. Hold up. One of my favorite player, Cam. Oh, you been watching film? Watch this.
Yeah.
Hey, that was the funniest thing.
I still love the meme of him and Loke Dog from Don't Be a Menace to South Central when they both had that weird ass hair.
Oh, my
Like
God.
he looked just like Loke Dog, man.
Oh, my gosh. Don't do that. Don't do Cam like that.
Do we have a problem?
Do we have a That'll forever be a classic.
Yeah.
For people who haven't seen it, you got to go see, was it South?
Don't be a menace to South
Society
Central while drinking your
Genius.
juice in the hood.
Yeah.
They hit every hood movie from the 90s and put it all in one title. One of the greatest movies ever. The Wayans Brothers, hilarious.
Hilarious.
So let's get into this. I think we all have a different opinion on this, so I'm excited to kind of have a little debate with you gentlemen because I enjoy being right while other people are wrong. Offensive NFL Rookie of the Year. Who do you guys got being that right now? Here is up. This is the graphic that's up right now. You got Jamar Chase, Najee Harris, Mac Jones, Kyle Pitts. But Joique, you got somebody that's not even in this picture, right?
No, but he's not an offensive though.
That's okay.
It's not offensive, so it was.
Well, let's just go.
Let's just do offense. Let's just go Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year. Let's do it.
I'll put Michael Parsons on there as well.
Okay.
I'll put Michael. The way that he's changed that Cowboys defense over this year, I'm not even gonna say it. It's a little bit far fetched, but he could be up for Defensive Player of the Year. The way that he's transforming that whole defensive front, and backfield.
He was the guy I wanted if we didn't take Penei Sewell because obviously the Lions were historically bad on defense last year, so I thought we should have probably addressed the defense a little in the draft.
Yeah. But we did.
But you can't pass on Penei Sewell, and I was extremely happy with that. But Parsons was my guy. That was my guy.
You know what's crazy though? So you know how we all were big Penei Sewell guys, right? But we thought he was going to the Bengals, and we didn't think we were going to have an opportunity to get him. So we were actually going to probably end up taking Chase if we didn't get.
Right.
This is what I'm thinking, right? But one thing that they talked about, they didn't want a wide receiver. But as soon as the draft was over, not even the draft was over, but as soon as we picked him, Penei Sewell, I got about 5 or 10 calls like, why did we get him? I say, it's a great pick. Is he good? Have you not been watching?
Were they former players that calling you or just like your boys?
No. Boys,
okay,
friends, people who were hearing people say, why did we get him? We need to go get a receiver. I'm like, well, how did that work out last time? I mean, we got how did that work? I mean, we got a Hall of Famer receiver, yeah, but we didn't win anything.
Right.
I feel
it
like
took us 3 stabs to get a receiver to get get a good one.
Right. It took us 3. And then we had Charles Rogers before that. And
rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace. And then who did he get before him?
Oh, it was Mike Williams, Roy Williams, Charles Rogers, and then Calvin.
All right. And so, well, we got Roy Williams from he came from the Cowboys, didn't he?
No, we traded him. We fleeced the Cowboys for Roy Williams. We got like 2 first-round picks. Like they Herschel Walkered us for Roy Williams, and I loved it because I was sick of his first down when we're down by 30 points. Yeah. It made no sense to me. Like, don't celebrate first downs, celebrate touchdowns. Wins.
All right, here we go. And so, but no, I got caught. But that was a great pick for me, man. And you know, they had Penei Sewell. If he wasn't hurt, if he wasn't playing hurt, and he was able to still be at that left tackle, and like the way that he was able to do, practice right tackle the whole year, and then the week before the first game, okay, we got to move you over to left tackle
to
now,
face Bosa.
and face Bosa and hold his own, and he stays healthy, and he continues that throughout the year. Like he's in the mix for Rookie of the Year, right? But right now, if you ask me, it will either be Chase or Michael Parsons, and I'm gonna go with Michael Parsons.
Well, I want to go back to something Joique said too, because you talked about you had that receiver. If we didn't take Sewell, you take Chase, right? You had that receiver, but you go back to last year's Super Bowl between the Bucs and the Chiefs. Where was that game won? On the line, right?
Yep.
That's the defensive line of Kansas City ate up Patrick Mahomes' offensive line, and they were able to
change that man too.
Yeah.
They changed him.
So you look at that, like, so anyone that wants to argue or get ahead of the 8 ball is like, oh, you shouldn't have taken. If Parsons does win Defensive Rookie of the Year, which I think we can all say he probably is going to, if people are going to say, oh, it's Lions missed out again, they could have had him. Don't.
No,
that's not an argument. You got generational talent tackle versus a linebacker who's also going to be.
This is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. They're not going to say that if Penei Sewell, if he comes out and he is who we think he is, right? They're not going to go back. What they don't want is for us to go out and miss on a guy like a Aaron Donald, right? And
for Ebron?
For Ebron, right? And who Ebron ended up being who we thought he was when he went to another team. And they used
Hoof
him.
hands?
Right. You know, he became a Pro Bowl tight end with the Colts, right? And now he's with the Steelers now. But you know, you have a guy like Aaron Donald who we passed up on. We passed up on also OBJ as well. And so those guys would be good to got. But for what our team needed, right, and they thought we could win now, we drafted who we felt we needed right now. And right now, we're not drafting for this year. We're drafting for 3-4 years down the road. And you build a team through the trenches. That's why you look at our first 3 draft picks, Penei Sewell, right, in the first round. D linemen in the second and third round. That's what we need.
Right.
And so, like you said, what ate up Kansas City? That Tampa Bay D-line. Ate them up. Had the pressure in his face the whole game.
Yeah, and when Tom Brady's lost Super Bowls, why? Well, the Giants were putting insane amount of pressure on him those entire games, and that's what threw him off for his 2 losses in the Super Bowl against the Giants. Like, that pressure is so important. It's so important because no matter how good your quarterback is, we've seen it with Aaron Rodgers. When you put pressure on him, he's not the same guy.
He's not the same guy. He is not the same guy. And that's any quarterback, though. That's any quarterback. And you get to a point to where they're not comfortable in the pocket. And when the pocket looks like it's collapsing, but it's not, they're going to roll out anyway, just because of that what you call that PTSD.
Right.
You know, that's what it is. Even if the pocket's clean, you look at some plays from Patrick Mahomes this year. He's vacating the pocket where all he had to do was take a step left, stay in the pocket. But he's so used to doing that and having success doing it, like in the Super Bowl. I mean, he wasn't comfortable. And you can tell the way he played wasn't comfortable. But even with that being said, he wasn't getting any help from the receivers, dropping passes, not making plays. It was a tough game, and that was just one of the games where they couldn't fight their way back in.
Yeah. Now, we got to get back on track, right?
I was just going to say, yeah. So for Offensive Rookie of the Year, who do you have? Or just Rookie of the Year in general?
Yeah. No doubt. Undoubtedly, I think the number 1 pick is Jamar Chase. What he's done in Cincinnati with Joe Burrow, what that team's been able to do. I get they just came off a huge loss to the Browns, but Jamar Chase has been the highlight of the entire rookie class. The deep threat that he's brought in, I mean, the guy's averaging 92.8 yards per game as a rookie. Rookie.
That's true.
And everybody said they needed to address their line, and I thought they did. Because after Burrow went down with a knee injury last year, you're like, you got to protect this guy. But now you protect him by giving him the deep threat so the defense can't stack 8 in the box and just rush him all the time.
I'm going to tell you right now. He had a big part of them saying, listen, you want Penei Sewell, you want Chase.
Yeah, my college boy, baby.
My boy. Bring my boy here.
Right.
Bring my boy.
So
we'll make magic.
You can look at it too now that like you got Jamar Chase there, you got Joe Burrow. You've seen what they're doing. Like that's going to be advantageous for an offensive lineman who's a free agent to go there.
Oh yeah.
So they can address that in free agency. That's more of something that.
The only problem is they're still in Ohio, and that's always going to be an issue to get anybody to move to Ohio.
I will say Cincinnati is the only city in Ohio that I was like, okay, this.
That's because it's close to Kentucky.
Yeah, exactly.
It's close to Louisville. About an hour away.
So my offensive rookie of the year, that man right there, Najee Harris. I mean, if you look at the percentage of carries he's getting for the Steelers, it's insane. 80% of the running plays run through Najee Harris on the Steelers, which that usage is crazy. And then you look at the check down passes that Big Ben has been getting him. This guy is just putting up numbers after numbers after numbers. And I loved him coming into the season because, you know, the story of him driving to a teammate's practice 9 hours just to get there to support teammates. He's the guy you want to build a franchise around. And the Steelers, they suck this year, but the Steelers sucking is still 5-4.
Yeah,
I wish the Lions sucking was 5-4.
Oh, you know what's funny? 100% of the players go through and they're 5-4 right now. Mac Jones. I'll put Mac Jones before Najee Harris. He's the quarterback of the team, and he's leading his team 5-4 right now at the most important position on the field.
So you're saying running backs aren't important, Joique?
No, I said the most important position on the field. But the reason I said it because every play. Offensively, the ball has to touch the quarterback hand,
right?
Unless we're running some type of wildcat.
And the crazy thing about that too, bringing up Mac Jones, like there's no big name receiver there. Like, yeah, you got N'Keal Harry, like But like he's doing that with kind of I'm not going to sit there and call him a scrub by any means. But
no player in the NFL I will call a scrub.
No, I never would either.
Right, I wouldn't disrespect any player.
Right, because they're doing something I can't do. So I'm just saying, but they're doing it with like an offense. Like there's probably going to be no one on that offense that's really a Pro Bowl type caliber player.
But that's who they are. That's the Patriot way.
That's the Patriot way. Now you have some guys who might emerge as the guy there. You have like a Julian Edelman.
Yeah, you'll have a 5'7" white dude come out and catch like 400 balls a season.
Wes Welker. You'll get a Danny Woodhead there. Like you'll get guys who will emerge as these guys are pretty good there at the Patriots. But for the most part, it's just that system there is. I believe in my system more than I believe in a player. I can turn any player that comes here into a superstar.
Well, that's when he got drafted too. You knew it was like people were calling him Tom Brady Jr. Like that's
it's
the same combine. Yeah, it's the same body type.
Yeah,
bag of milk body coming out of college. Yeah. Combine looking just nasty.
Body just looked like a
bag of milk.
No, a bag of laundry.
Offensive rookie of the year. I'm still going with Najee Harris. You're going
Jamar Chase.
And offense, you'd say Mac Jones. Mac Jones.
No, but I would say that Jamar Chase would probably win it, but just because of he's standing out. But Mac Jones, if you're looking at the bigger scope, he's the quarterback. He's at the most important position. He was leading this team to a 5-4 season. Najee Harris is on the offense that's not really producing that much, but like you said, he's getting 80%. So I don't know if that's going to hurt him.
Right,
that might hurt him. He's getting 80% of the carries, but they're still not producing.
That's an insane usage for a rookie, though, right? Like they're lining him up to get hurt, aren't they?
Everybody gets hurt in this league.
Okay, so just use them till they do.
Yeah, I mean it's like a I don't know. It's like a used car. Like it's going to break down at some point. So you better get as much as you can out of it while you still can.
I mean they used and abused Derrick Henry, and it took 2.5 years. But
yeah, I didn't think Derrick Henry was ever going to get hurt. That guy's just built like a house, man.
Yeah,
it sucks that he's hurt too.
All right. Well, since we're talking about looking rough, Mac Jones, I'm looking a little rough myself. You can see my hair is not doing too well, so I'm gonna have to probably walk right out of the studio, go sit in a nice relaxing chair and wait for a seat to open up so I can get my haircut. So Lady Jane's is open from 10 to 8, 7 days a week. You walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. I've been going to Lady Jane's for a long, long time. It's the only place I really trust my hair to get done and get done right. It's a lot thick. There's a lot of thick stuff going on up here.
You got nice hair, Leach.
Yeah, well, a lot of people say I got some gray in there, but as long as it's thick, that's all I worry about. So football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience.
Seclude that audio, please.
Yeah. It's time to make your grooming experience easy, like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax. You can even watch sports while you wait, too. So Sports Centers is playing all the time. And I tell you, those sofas are extremely comfortable to sit in. So come on in. Again, 7 days a week, 10 to 8. Lady Jane's is a spot to be.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. With mortgage interest rates unbelievably low, the stakes to find your new home have never been higher. And that's why Hall Financial's exclusive realtor network allows us to connect you with a top-rated realtor in your area, making sure you take on the housing market and win. Hall Financial has earned over 4,000 five-star reviews because of our technology and our commitment to closing your loan fast. 866-CALL-HALL or chat with us online at callhallfirst.com.
Welcome back. It is the Woodward Sports Network live on the Roar and right here on all of our platforms. You can download the app today and make sure you're also watching on YouTube, on Twitter, and everywhere that Woodward Sports is. My name is Stick, filling in for Neil Rule, who is out calling Oakland University basketball games because he's got that silky smooth voice that we all wish we had. Nick Leach filling in for D-Mac today, who's celebrating 6 years of sobriety and also doing some great things for our veterans for Veterans Day. So thank you to everybody who's ever served this country. And of course, the wonderful, the mythical, the man, Joique Bell is in here with us like he is every day for Big D Energy because we couldn't change the name of the show because we got Joique here. If it was just me and Nick, we'd probably tone it down a bit.
Tone it down?
Yeah, little D energy.
No.
Or average D energy.
Oh.
Joique makes me feel relaxed up here. Like I just chill. Like Joique might be the chillest dude I know.
He's a Zen guy, man. Except when he's playing sports, because I've seen that game face come on, and it's crazy. Because look at that face. Like imagine that in a helmet trying to run your ass over.
Look at time. Yeah. Good time, man. But that's the thing, though. You know how You know, when you go to these Raiders game and you go to the black hole and how it's so crazy, right? And they did like a study. Like most of those people in that black hole are doctors, lawyers, nurses, all these different like high professional careers, right? These professional careers, and they can go there. They can put these masks on and they can kind of just let loose. So whenever I go out there on the field, it's like I can turn into my alter ego, and I just put the helmet on, and I just, I turn into that gorilla. It's just a good time. It was a good time for me, man. That's one thing I always love. You put that helmet on, you can become who you want.
Yeah, I love that, man. Yeah. It's so cool to get insight from somebody who's actually seen behind that helmet, too. Like, as much as, we've worked together almost a year now, Joique. We've, played on softball teams together. But
it's
really,
good times, man. It's good time, man. A lot of good people.
It's cool to, like, talk to somebody who can give us a little insight behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Because I've been a fan my whole life, obviously, of sports, but to talk to somebody who's like, you break down plays like we do with Ballin with Bell that we're going to do.
It's coming up. Yep. Are you guys ready to do it right now?
No, we're going to do that at the end of the show.
Oh, at the end of the show.
Bonus content.
All right, so stay here to 12:50. We got you.
Yeah, we got you. But we got a big thing happening in Detroit. We were talking a little bit about the growth of downtown Detroit, about how the city's changing, about how we got all 4 sports teams within walking distance of each other. Well, just a mile north of that, essentially, on Wayne State's campus, which is where Joique Bell used to run the ball, Heisman Trophy winner equivalent in Division II. Wayne State has partnered up with the Motor City Cruise, which is the G League team for the Pistons, and they got guys like Luka Garza, who's up with the Pistons sometimes, then moving back down to G League. You got Isaiah Livers doing the same thing. They have Derek Walton on their team, and the very first game ever for a G League team is happening tonight in Detroit on Wayne State's campus.
On Wayne State campus, which the new arena is sick.
Unreal. I walked in there last night. It's unreal.
It's sick. And the dope part about it is the deal that they made was, I think the Pistons built it out. I mean, Wayne State got a sweet deal. I think the Pistons, they built it out, and I could be wrong. You can fact check me. But they built it out. But Wayne State basketball team will be able to play all of their home games in there as well. So, and then I also think they're moving the Wayne State Hall of Fame over into that new arena as well, which I think I'll be in that arena now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it'll be good.
We got to see that arena right when the Wolverines came in and played the scrimmage against Wayne State. So you got to see that on TV a bit. And my buddy that I actually do the Going to Work podcast, shout out to my boy Steady, he actually, the first thing he said, he goes, dude, that Wayne State arena is unbelievable. Just from looking at it on TV, he said that for a G League team, he said that looks awesome.
Yeah, everybody last night was saying that it's the best G League facility in the entire league. Like, they just went above and beyond. And, the cameras that they brought in, the LED scoreboard is just absolutely beautiful. And the way you walk in, and then the court's below you. So you get this picturesque view as you walk in. And not only that, the team's damn good. I mean, the Motor City Cruise and DCFC are our best teams in Detroit right now.
Yeah, no doubt.
The Cruise killed it in their opening game. I mean, Saban Lee went absolutely nuts.
42 points.
Yeah, he went nuts.
Luka Garza went off 24 points. Like, those boys are playing some ball.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Rob Murphy, who was on the morning show this morning.
I didn't see. That's funny that he didn't tell me that.
That he was coming on?
Yeah, because when you said that, like, cause the names is stuck in, like, Rob. I'm like, Rob, yeah, great guy, man. Right down the street from me, literally snuck on the block. Actually,
yeah,
I didn't even know because he was telling me he was working on trying to get a house over there because we have a few more people on the block that we both are associated with. And so when I looked up, he was, oh yeah, I'm down the street now. I said, when did you come here? Like, about a month ago. I said I didn't even know, So it's good to have him. I'm glad to see him doing well, and I didn't know he left Eastern.
Yeah.
Okay, well, good for him.
Yeah, he's the president of basketball operations there, so he's obviously been a big part of this. But he came on this morning just talking about the experience, like Sada Baby's performing at halftime today. But yeah, to me, I was talking to him, and I'm like, the Cruise is kind of like a craft beer. Like, it's going to get its cult following, and, the stadium holds 3,000 people, and it's kind of, I looked at it similar to DCFC. Like, DCFC, they have that Northern Guard cult following, which is absolutely insane and fun. And I think if the Cruise can pull something like that off, they will become, like I said, like a craft beer, like very popular with a certain group, not only Pistons fans, but you will have diehard Cruise fans. So make sure you get down there and check out a game. I can't wait to go down there.
I'm surprised Stick hasn't even talked about the broadcast team over here yet. That's an all-star lineup, too.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was lucky enough. They asked me to do color commentary for a couple games this season. So I'm a
big
part,
time.
I'm
That's
part
big
of
time.
that. Yeah. Yeah.
We're part of the Wayne State fam now.
Am I?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I went to University of Detroit, though. Is there any conflicts?
You said what?
I went to UAD, though. Is there any conflicts? Go Titans.
Who you claiming?
I went to UAD, man. I got to claim.
You working with? But who's paying you?
You got two Warriors up here in the Titans, so.
There we go.
Yeah, 2 Warriors and the Titans.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that.
When you played it with Wayne State, were they the Tartars or were they the Warriors?
The Tartars was before me. That was like in the 90s.
All right.
And I think the last year of the Tartars might have been 99.
Okay.
And then they switched it over to Warriors. Which, do you know what a Tartar is?
It was like almost like a Spartan, right?
Yeah, it was like I think it was like a warrior from an African tribe.
Oh,
okay. And so it was actually pretty dope. I think I looked it up one time and it looked pretty bad. It was a pretty bad A word.
You can say ass. Pretty badass dude.
Yeah, pretty bad.
Yeah. I used to remember driving down the lodge and just seeing Tartar right on the football field.
Yeah, but I like Warriors a little bit better. I like Warriors.
It says, I looked it up. What is a Tartar person? It says a person of irritable or violent temper.
Oh, all right. So it has nothing to do with regional. It's just attitude.
Yeah.
That when we talk about the Detroit attitude, that's it. That Tartar.
That Tartar. It was Tartar. And what was the mascot? Like a turtle or something? I don't even know.
I can't remember what it was either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like the Warrior though.
Yeah, well, it's a great spot on Wayne State's campus, and like we were talking, it's continued growth in Detroit.
Right, and the thing is, like how the Pistons is kind of just teamed up with Wayne State, because not only do they have the G League new arena there, but they also have the Pistons practice facility on Wayne State campus as well.
Yeah.
And so when we talk about it, you said it's one of the best G League arenas around, probably the best. When I talked to Troy Reaver, he said, and he's been around the league, he said that their practice facility was Class A. He said he hasn't been in a facility like that. And it's the best one he's ever been in. And so, like, that's just, comes to show you how much growth we're coming as a city, even with LCA. That arena is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. So, yeah.
And it's crazy to me that Comerica Park's so old, because it still feels new when you go there. Like, it's still a nice ballpark. And the same thing with Ford Field. Even though it's older now, 15, 16 years, it still feels brand new when you walk in. I just wish our game day experience in Ford Field was a little more hyped up. Like they do in LA.
Because I think Tom LeWine has something to do with that building being built, and his idea was that he wanted that building to be able to stand the test of time as far as the aesthetic look, and he wanted it to be able to be timeless. And so the way it's built out, it looks like a newer stadium. It looks good, and like it's a lot of room in there for you can make changes if you wanted to down the road, and so it's pretty dope.
Yeah, I'm excited. And, like we were talking about restaurants and stuff, and that area is just going to grow from it because they're going to have 3,000 fans down there. I think they have 24 home games this year. So, that's going to draw people to that area. The restaurants will get a boost, that little area. Yeah. Midtown's already doing what Midtown's doing.
Oh, yeah. It's and I have some stuff that I have planned with Wayne State that's coming soon. Hopefully we have the deal signed, sealed, and delivered by late this year or early next year. That's the plan. And then once we sign that down the line, I'll bring it to the show. But it's something that I've been working on for like 2 years now. So
that's awesome.
Yeah,
no, I think the Crew should have a pretty good following though. You got Isaiah Livers who's down there. Right. You've got Derek Walton. Those are two big Michigan names that a lot of people around here remember. So I feel like they should at least have a good following the first year. You got Luka Garza, played at Iowa. So a lot of people are familiar with some of the names on this team. So and guys that want to see him. So take on the Wisconsin Herd tonight as the opponent.
Yeah, the Wisconsin Herd. But Luka is already kind of like a cult hero here. I mean, on social media, and even when he comes in the game. And it's similar to Darko. Like whenever Darko would get in the game, everybody would go nuts, except Luka has actually got game, and we didn't waste a number 2 overall pick on him. But that vibe when he gets in, everybody just goes nuts for him when he gets on the Pistons court. And I was talking to the coach yesterday for the Crews, and they were just saying that this is such a good thing for not only the G League team, but the Pistons, because you got a guy like Luka Garza, when he steps up to the NBA, he's going against all-stars. He's going against Joel Embiid. He's going against Antetokounmpo, or however you say his name. I could never say it correctly. Giannis. He's going against
Antetokounmpo.
Thank you, Fish. Love you, Fish. He's going against those guys, and, he's a rookie, so they're kind of beating him up. But then he gets the opportunity to go down to the G League. Now he's the man. Like, he's the bully on the block. So he's not going to lose that confidence that I think a lot of rookies lose making that jump to the NBA, because you're getting beat up by grown-ass men now. It's not just you're playing against college kids or you're playing AAU or anything like that. Like, you're playing against pros who this is their job, is to beat you. And so I'm happy that mentally, I think this will help a lot of players too. And what Troy Weaver used to do when he was in Toronto, you saw it with Fred VanVleet, and you saw it with a couple other players there. He loves to move players up and down. They run the same system in the G League that we're going to run in for the Pistons. Yep. So this is just becoming like a whole ecosphere of cohesiveness, which can only help the franchise down the road.
For sure.
Yeah, so I'm excited. G League tonight. Go Crews.
Go Crews. You know what, though? I haven't been on Wayne State campus for a game in that new arena yet, and I haven't been able to walk around it. But I've only heard good things about it, so I have to get down there.
What are you doing Friday night?
You and me will go down there one night.
What are you doing tomorrow night?
My son has his playoff game.
Oh,
tomorrow
nice.
night.
Well, I can't beat that. So yeah, enjoy your son's playoff game. But whenever you want to come, let me know.
Third round.
And if you like to go downtown to party before games, whether it's for the Crews, but if it's for the Lions, we got your pregame and postgame covered right here on the Woodward Sports Network. Pregame this week is going on at O'Toole's in Royal Oak from 11 till 1. Come on out, be a part of the live broadcast. Maz is going to be out there, Ermani, Braylon. We simulcast it with 101 WRIF and the lovely Jade. So you can come on down and check it out. That is at O'Toole's in Royal Oak. And then after the game, if you want to drain your sorrows with me, or maybe we're celebrating our first win of the season, we are going to be at the Brass Rail right on Woodward and Adams downtown. It's pretty much right across from Comerica Park. Come on down. We start at the 2-minute warning. You can be a part of it. We love to interview people during the post game, get the response of the fans, and just have a good time at the Brass Rail. So pregame, make sure you're at O'Toole's. Postgame, make sure you come down and get some pizza at the Brass Rail with Woodward Sports.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
Welcome back to the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Stick. This is Big D Energy. We're also live on the Roar, so thank you guys for listening. Anywhere that you're listening and downloading everything that you can. At Woodward Sports on all social media. Make sure you download the app in Google or Apple Play Store. Give me a roar, Joique.
Oh, that was more of a purr.
Yeah,
that was
Joique's trying to seduce me over here.
That was the what's my guy from the Wizard of Oz? The lion from the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, the cowardly lion.
The cowardly lion.
Oh my god.
That was for you, Jade.
I was that for Halloween one year.
That's for Jade.
Oh, that's your sound effects for the pregame show?
No, that's Jade. You say the roar, I would think of Jade. So that's her growl.
NFL
Don't
Week
kill
10,
me, Jade.
NFL Week 10 is here. Let's take a look at this weekend and how the games are going to line up. Obviously, we got Thursday Night Football tonight. That's going on with the Baltimore Ravens and Miami. You got the Bills taking on the Jets. You got the Bucks versus the football team.
You almost
they're always going to be the Redskins to me. It's just, it's always going to be Pine Knob. It's always going to be Cobo. I'm not going to call it the TCF Arena. Like, it's Cobo. That's just how I roll. You got Falcons, Cowboys, Saints at the Titans. You got Jacksonville and the Colts. Lions, of course, taking on the Steelers. Browns, Patriots.
Give me the rundown. Who you got?
Just off of all these games?
Yeah, all these. Who you got?
Just real quick.
Real quick.
Let's see. I got the Ravens beating Miami.
Okay.
The Bills need a bounce back week after what happened to them last week, losing to Jacksonville. I got them. The Bucks are going to absolutely dominate Washington. The interesting game is Dallas and Atlanta. I like what I'm seeing in Atlanta over the past couple weeks on offense. Matt Ryan's kind of come back to being a serviceable Matt Ryan. Kyle Pitts has turned into a really, really good option for him, so I like that. But who you got, Joique? What's your lock of the weekend if you have one?
Lock?
Joique's looking at it right now.
No, I'm locked. I would probably say Arizona versus the Panthers.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, I'll probably say Arizona versus the
Even
Panthers.
with Cam Newton returning?
Yep.
Do we know if Kyler Murray's going to be healthy enough to play, or is it going to be Colt McCoy again? Because that's got to play huge into that.
I mean, Colt McCoy looked good running that offense last week with James Conner in the backfield.
Yeah.
Dear Lord.
Yeah. And actually, and speaking of, that's the play that I'm doing for Ballin with Bill. And I want to break it down because it's a lot. So when you run screens in the NFL, people don't understand how crucial timing is with that. Like,
right.
It's very crucial, especially when you're sending a blitz. And I want to break down the play just on the standpoint of how, even though they haven't played this whole year together, how he was able to come in and the timing was able to match up perfectly. You know, and he took it to the house for what, 45, 50 yards.
Yeah,
so
three touchdowns during the game, like
ridiculous.
And respect to anybody who ever beat cancer. Like, honestly, if you're a cancer survivor, but to beat cancer and then be as jacked as he is and still playing in the NFL, that is a story.
It is a story. My favorite player to beat cancer and come back won Defensive Player of the Year. And I remember I called him a week before the game. We were both at the same agency. I said, listen, tell Eric Berry I need his jersey after this London game. I need it. Tell him don't give it to anybody. I need it. I'm letting him know right now. And so when the game was over, he had about 3 players run up to him and ask him for his jersey. And I hadn't seen him yet. And he said, no, I already promised Joique I was going to give it to him. And as I'm walking up to go get it, Glover Quinn is right there asking for the jersey. And I see Eric say, oh, I wish I could. I already promised one person I'd give it to her. And Glover Quinn, he didn't say, all right, all right, no problem next time. He said, who? And I was walking up, he said, I promised it to Joique. He said, Joique. He always put an R in my name for something. Joique. If we were playing Adrian Peterson, I wouldn't ask for his jersey. Oh, that's wrong. I said, hey, I got to do it. I apologize. I need his jersey. I'm a big fan of what he's done and what he's doing. And just so happened that year he won Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, for whatever reason, that Chiefs 29 jersey is kind of symbolic. It's just like there's something about it. When you look at it, when you see it, I remember watching Eric Berry come back from that, and it's just like
I should have had him sign it, but it was in the moment, and we didn't have a pen on us. I just wanted we needed it. We swapped out right then and there, so it's hanging up in the room.
Do you have a collection of jerseys like that? How many do you have hanging up?
I was asking the same question.
Oh yeah, I have. You know what? I don't know. I have to go and I have to look. I have to go and I have to look at the count.
Well, if you don't, I mean, if there's extras you got laying around, stick your eye.
I actually have two. I actually have two. I have like 3 laying down because I have to find a spot for them on the wall. Steph Curry. I have a Steph Curry one. I have one that my mother made for me with his 2 jerseys cut up from one from the Lions and one from the Saints, and she had them 6 together to be.
That's fun.
Well, it's pretty dope. I have one more. I have to find a spot for him.
I got my baseball jerseys from my sophomore year of high school. If you want to do a jersey swap, I'll sign it for you, and I can have yours.
That's what's up. Okay, I think I got a college one laying around somewhere.
I bet
that would be hilarious. You're going to Joique's house, and it's like NFL, Commerce Little League.
Yeah.
You guys talk amongst yourselves real quick. I'm really about to look and see if I can, because I have a photo of it when I did it. And this shouldn't take long. Give me a second.
All right, sorry. Let's throw up that graphic again so we can talk about the games. I mean, here it is on the back screen, and shout out to everybody that's listening right now on the Roar. We appreciate you. So let's run down some of these lines. Titans -3 against the Saints. You got Colts -10.5 against the Jags. Steelers -9 against the Lions. Patriots -1 against the Browns. Chargers -2 against the Vikings. Cardinals -10 against the Panthers. Broncos -3 against the Eagles. Packers -3.5 against Seattle. That's an interesting game. We should talk about that game because Russell Wilson's coming back. You got the Aaron Rodgers drama that's going on. Kansas City is -2.5 against Oakland, and the Rams are -4 against San Francisco, which is another super interesting game. The most interesting games to me on this are the Packers taking on the Seahawks because that's always a fun matchup. You got Russell Wilson coming back, like I mentioned. The Aaron Rodgers drama we really haven't talked about today, but he's out for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, until he tests negative.
They fined him a whole nickel, which was amazing for them to put that damage into his pocket. Like $14,000 as a fine to Aaron Rodgers. The guy makes $20 million a year. Like it just makes no sense.
Someone just got fined $20,000 for having their jersey untucked too.
Oh yeah, you'll get fined for having the long.
That was CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
So he got more for that than Aaron Rodgers did.
That's more endangering people is having your shirt untucked.
And not to get political, I don't care what Aaron Rodgers does. I really don't when it comes to that. But yeah, at the same time, come on, NFL. What are you doing here? But the LA Rams versus San Francisco. What do you think about that game?
No, I mean, so actually, I have my bet and cover podcast that I do each week. We do college football slate, which don't listen to anything I say on that because it's terrible. But NFL, I'm actually right around 54% or so, 53% when it comes to NFL football. So the game that I would think is a lock is that LA Rams game against San Fran. As long as Jimmy G's starting, especially in primetime, he just doesn't seem to kind of, show up. So I love Stafford in that primetime role, even though they just got beat down in Tennessee last week.
Last game in primetime role, a couple interceptions. That was the Matthew Stafford of old.
Yeah.
The last games watching Stafford, he got the happy feet again. And you used to see that all the time here in Detroit. When he's uncomfortable, his feet start doing this in the pocket. And you saw that a lot last week against the Titans. And you wonder what Stafford's going to show up this week.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a get-right game, right? Except for, Bills kind of have the same thing. Granted, you can't have a get-right game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's just a bad visual to begin with. But I look for LA to come back out that night and put it to San Fran.
See, I like San Fran in that game, at least to cover the spread. Getting George Kittle back last week really kind of sparked Jimmy G. It sparked the offense. You don't have to rely on Deebo Samuel for everything now. And Elijah Mitchell is looking pretty good coming out of the backfield. So I like the way San Francisco is trending. That's why I think I would take San Francisco in that game.
All right. Well, I mean,
you want to make a gentleman's bet?
Yeah. What do you want to do?
I don't know. We'll figure that out. But if you want to make a real bet, you can go to MyBookie and do it.
Yeah.
And then. Yeah, the Chiefs versus Raiders. That's always an interesting game. That's one of my favorite rivalries in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, the Raiders got a lot of stuff going on right now, too. But
they're still winning.
They're still winning,
and that's
which
what,
is
going
crazy.
back to our point earlier with Odell Beckham, you got guys getting in car accidents. They pretty much blew out their whole 2020 draft, right? They've gotten rid of their first 2 first-round picks. They got rid of Lynn Bowden, early last year. But they're still functioning. They're still winning games. Their head coach is gone, and they're still winning games.
Yeah.
It's frustrating as a Lions fan. We seem cohesive. We seem like we run a competent structure. But you got the Raiders that are just, it seems like a high school house party all the time, just absolutely insane. But they win games.
They win games.
And that's all that matters, right?
That's all that matters. They're guarding their record right now. Don't you think?
Guarding their record?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost like the treading water a little bit.
Yeah, I think they're doing a good job with it. Josh Jacobs, he hasn't quite been the star running back that they thought he was going to be, but he's done a decent job with it.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of Guardian, so Guardian Alarm gets it. A good defense on and off the field helps you feel secure. So, I mean,
secure.
Living in Detroit, I had to have a Guardian Alarm. I felt safe. That's the only way I felt safe living at home. Living in Royal Oak now, I brought him over. What'd you say, Joique?
So how you feel about Detroit?
Yeah, me and Leach are both pure Detroit boys, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I grew up.
6-7 miles in Shiawassee.
I was McNichols and Telegraph.
Yeah.
So, Guardian Alarm, though, protected the house, whether we had dogs at home, but Guardian Alarm lets you know anytime if you have temperature issues, if you have smoke in the house, if you have carbon monoxide. It does more than just protect your house from burglars or theft. So that number for Guardian is 1-800
Stay out.
Again today. So that's 1-800
Stay out.
Guardian Alarm has been trusted for over 90 years at keeping families safe.
And where do they got to go fish?
1-800 Stay out.
Stay out of my house.
Stay out of my house.
Thank you.
Get away.
Tony is a third-generation logger that has a simple, practical approach to life and work. That's why his Coast DX342 knife is perfect for him. The stainless steel blade is rust-resistant and made for all-weather use. And the double roll-lock safety ensures that it will never inadvertently close when he doesn't want it to. That's why Coast is trusted tough.
Welcome back. It is the Woodward Sports Network live right here. My name is Stick, filling in for Neil Rule, and this is Big D Energy, along with my man Nick Leach, and of course Joique Bell. And before the break, we were talking about a lot of things, but we also were talking about collectibles and jersey rooms and stuff like that. And Joique, you were able to find your pictures?
Yeah. So I found the video real quick. So this is the video of I did a video of Eric Berry, letting people know this is one of my favorite jerseys I have in my collection, and it showed a few of them, but it didn't get all of them though. But can you roll the clip real quick?
right, there we go. So there's your Barry jersey.
There's my Barry. CJ Spiller is right underneath. Good friend of mine.
Man, I loved Spiller when he came out.
Oh, yeah. So we came out together, both to Buffalo. Right next to that next jersey next to Barry, I think that's DeAndre Levy's. I think it's not Levy's.
CJ Spiller.
I love Levy, too. When we got Levy out of Wisconsin, I was so happy.
Yeah, so is that Levy? No, that's Melvin Ingram on the other side. And I got some more in the back. Fred Jackson's right there when you first walk in. And, so for sure. You can't hear it, but I'm actually talking. I'm kind of breaking down why it's one of my favorite jerseys, man. And I would kind of give him a shout-out because he does a lot in the community, too. And so shout out to Eric Berry, man. For sure.
Out of all the other athletes that you've ever visited their house, who has like the most impressive sports collection?
Like as far as my framework, like the frame, I'm not saying because I haven't been to another person's house who had like the type of framing that I have for like all the jerseys. So I have them all framed like that, and we have a picture of them playing in that jersey, that specific jersey that I got it from, and then it's like a little like kind of like their name and like their nameplate. It's dope, like the way that and they actually do it right down the street from here. It's not far. I think it's like right out of Ferndale or Royal Oak where they when they manufacture these frames and do everything for me. And so I haven't seen a frame better than mine, but I've seen people with bigger collections. Like Stephen Tulloch has a big collection. The biggest collection I've probably seen would probably be Golden Tate's. Golden has a lot of jerseys, and he has them framed like in this man cave, like in this theater room, and it's massive.
So what's your prize piece? What's your favorite piece of memorabilia that you own?
I'll probably say the Calvin Johnson 2012 ball that I got from him when he broke the NFL receiving record. And I also have his second to last away jersey. And so from the game, and
That's
so
awesome.
I have like the second to last one that he's ever played in, and it was after the Rams game, and so I said, listen, bro, because I kind of knew he was going to retire, so I was waiting. So when we had that initial conversation back in September of that 2015 season, he like, yeah, Joique, this might be my last go round. And he didn't tell too many people. I said, man, Dada, hold on. Just see how you feel at the end of the season.
Please don't leave us.
And then make your decision. And then once we got to like the last month, I was like, yeah, I think he's done. And so that second to last away game, I said, I'm gonna need your jersey before. He said, all right, cool, but you're gonna have to get it kind of early. You can't get the last one because I'm gonna keep the last. I said, that's fine. I just need one this year. And so I ended up getting the one after the Rams. We swapped out. I gave him mine. He gave me his. And I'm a chair. Like no one's touching this one. And so I had that frame. I had him sign that one. And then we kind of went from there. But yeah, I'm keeping that one.
What about you, Leach? You collect anything?
Yeah, I actually got my favorite thing that I have is actually in my living room. It's a signed picture, a huge picture of Miguel Cabrera from his Triple Crown year.
Oh, beautiful.
Triple Crown year. It's got the nameplate with all of his stats that year. It's huge picture. It takes up most of the wall. I also have a picture of Nick Lidstrom holding up the Stanley Cup in 2008.
Nice.
When they won it too. That's also autographed.
Good.
Along with I got all the retired jersey banners, like smaller banners across the ceiling as well. So
I collect sports memorabilia. That's like the only thing that I actually spend money on. Outside of that, I'm the cheapest dude you'll ever meet in your life.
So what's your favorite?
I got a lot of favorites. I have
You ready to pick one?
Oh God, it's
you made me
tough.
pick one. I had to pick.
Oh, it's tough. It's tough.
All right, pick one.
Probably the 1989-1990 Pistons signed ball with the entire championship team on it.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
I got that one at an auction, and then I have the 1968 World Series Tiger. It's a bat signed by everybody, including Nicky Lolich, and then of course Al Kaline's on that bat. But like my favorite like fun piece is I have a Mike Tyson's Punch Out lithograph that Mike Tyson signed.
Oh, that's really dope.
And I have Mike Tyson shorts. I have a Mike Tyson glove signed. Right. Like I love Tyson. That's my dude.
All right, so we from other players, that's my favorite piece right there. Like my most valuable one too. But my most favorite memorabilia.
Let me guess.
What?
Your first touchdown football.
I have that too.
Yeah.
I have that too.
I thought that would be number one too.
That's up there. No, it's my Harlan Hill trophy.
Oh, yeah.
It's my Harlan Hill Trophy.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is, people don't understand it, but the Harlan Hill Trophy is like 3 times bigger than the Heisman. So I think the Heisman weighs 25 pounds. It's like 2.5 times. It's like the Harlan Hill is like 63.5 pounds. It's like it's heavy.
So where do you keep it?
I actually just got it. I just got it back from my mom wouldn't let me take it from the house, and so my mom had like this mantle that she had. She said, "I work hard for this," and she had put it. So since she's moving, I said, "Well, you're not taking this to Florida. This is staying in Michigan." So I took it. So she let me take it, and right now I have it in my living room, sitting in the middle of this new, I guess. Table I got for my living room,
like vestibule type.
Yeah, like something like that.
Good thing you got Guardian Alarm to protect it.
Yeah, that's right.
I have insurance on it for sure.
Well, thank you guys so much for being a part of Big D Energy today. Another great show in the books. It's Thursday. Enjoy your Thursday night football, and thank you to everybody listening on the Roar right now. If you're watching on YouTube, you're about to get some bonus content because Joique Bell's going to hop up on this screen and break down a great play by James Conner. We call it Ballin' with Bell, and we're doing it next right here on the Woodward Sports Network.
Gang, gang.
Have a great Thursday. One more time, Joique.
Gang, gang.
Woodward Sports is giving you a chance to sit front row on Thanksgiving. All you have to do is survive our squid game. Nope, our turkey games. Listen every day to the Morning Woodward Show at 9 a.m. Big D Energy at noon. And the bottom line at 3 p.m. for your chance to qualify. The winner of turkey games will get tickets to the Thanksgiving Day Detroit game.
Hey, it's Thanksgiving. Shouldn't you be in Detroit losing a football game right now?
Plus a turkey. So if you think you can master our turkey game challenges, watch, listen, and win. Make sure you're following @Woodward Sports on all social media, or go to woodwardsports.com for additional chances to qualify. May the best turkey win.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
It is now time for Ballin' with the one and only Joique Bell right here on the Woodward Sports Network. Thank you for everybody that's sticking around on YouTube right now to check this out, and on Twitter. All right, Joique, what play are we breaking down today, my friend?
Right now we're breaking down the James Conner, the Colt McCoy to James Conner screen pass. That when I played was my favorite play. It was my favorite play to run because it got me out in the open field, got me in open space, and I was able to use my O-line. And we had this thing that we used to do. I'm not going to say it to you guys because I don't want to put my secrets out there. I'll go talk to the lines, let them know what we used to do. But
when they set up a screen pass, though, like you were saying, lots of timing has to go into that because
lots of timing.
Sometimes you see linemen feel like, oh, it's a screen pass, I don't even have to block at all, and that screws up the timing of the play. And then sometimes you see linemen find the running back and just hold him up so he can't make the catch.
So yes, so usually when you set up a screenplay, it's not we go out there, we call it, right? We're going to watch film on this team. We're going to look at the down and distance where they blitz the most,
right?
And we want to, and then once you see the percentage of the amount that they blitz in that certain situation, then you drop this play. This screen that we about to put up here, it kind of reminds. It's like a counter screen. It's like a counter screen because they had two pullers going away. You had two pullers going away from the screen side. And so it was like a cross screen. Can we get it up here?
There it is.
Here we go. So it's a cross. So we're gonna let it play out. He kicks it out to James Conner. He hits it. Now he puts on the speed, and no one's gonna get close to him. No one's gonna get close to him. And so when we go back through it, this hit pause. I want to break down the defense. I want to break down exactly what's going on here so you can have a clear understanding. Right now they're in the 4-2. You have two guys standing up. You have the two defensive ends standing up. Right here. Sometimes
those guys are wide as hell.
And they're wide. And the thing is, it can really throw off who you think a linebacker is. Because sometimes what they can do is they can have 3 down linemen, and then they can have a guy walking around standing up who's at the end, but they can have him walking around. What we would call that is a spinner, but that's not what they're doing. They're just in the 4-2 front. You have a safety in the middle. You have the the strong safety, the free safety walking down. And what you're about to see is you're about to see this right guard and also the tight end block back. And right now they're about to send a blitz. And what happens is if this blitz was coming from this side, if 24 was the blitz on this side, Connor would have to vacate his fake and run straight through that blitzer. But what happens is the blitz comes from the side opposite of the screen. So what he does is he just has to speed up his timing right here. And the whole O-line needs to understand that it's a blitzer coming, so the time is going to be sped up, right? So play in the slow motion for me. And the thing that, hit pause real quick, the thing that Colt McCoy does well is when he sees this blitz coming, hit play in slow motion, he doesn't go straight back. He leans to the right. He kind of goes to the right because he sees it, and he gets it over both arms, over both hands. Just easy block. You have the O-lineman getting out there in the open field. They getting blocks in the open field, these big offensive linemen. And then you have James Conner just turning on the jets, using his blockers, and then just outrunning everyone to the end zone.
How frustrating is it when you have a great screen drawn up and it's all executed well, but the lineman out there and just whiffs on his block?
Yeah, you know what? It's tough because understand you have these old linemen. They're going out into the open field. It's very difficult for them to go out there and try to block a guy that's 175, 185 pounds, even 200, because they're more agile.
Right.
And so and then another thing that you can't see the running back running behind you. So you don't know when to. You don't know when to kind of shoot the gun, like shoot the gun. You don't know. You don't know. And so I had a thing that I would do with my old linemen that I would put my hand on their back, or I would get close. And when I say shoot, they just pick a side, because what these DBs would do is they know they can't block these guys head on, and so they'll fake a side and then our old lineman would kind of get tricked, and they'll fall to the side, go to the wrong side.
Once you get that 350-pound body moving in one direction,
it's hard to change. And so what I would tell them to do, I would put my hand on them. When I say shoot, I would just push them to the side, because I know if they dive right here, that DB is going to jump that side. So I'm gonna push them, and I'm gonna continue to run that way.
Got it.
All right. And so this is just something I did with my old lineman, and it worked for me. But let's run this play through one time. You have the two blockers coming through. You have James Conner. He faked him, got around him. Bosa committed. He couldn't get back. James has it at the 45. He has it at the 40. He comes back. He's at the 35. He's at the 30. Oh, he may go. He may go all the way. The 10, the 5. No one got a hand on him. He's out of here. Another great executed screen in the NFL. I love this play. I love him. Another guy who beat cancer. He comes out, scores a touchdown, gives praises to God every time he scores a touchdown. How can you not
root for him?
How can you not root for a guy like that?
Right.
How can you not? Colt McCoy did a great job with getting by him with just enough time to get open. And what happens is, if you rewind it back real quick, rewind it back for me real quick. If you look at it real quick, James Conner actually does a great job by getting open. You know what he does that's so crucial here? He does one thing that's very, very crucial. If he doesn't do this play does not happen. He runs straight towards Nick Bosa like he's about to block him, which causes Bosa to stop his feet. He stops his feet. And so now he has to start that engine back up to try to get to the quarterback, and by that time it's too late. So hit play for me real quick in slow motion. He's coming upfield. Hold on, let's play it back.
Let's keep an eye on 61 too, because at first he misses a block. There's no one for him to block, but he gets a huge block down the field later too.
Oh yeah. So boom. Stops his feet. You say he stops his feet again, and then it's
Up
too
and
late.
over, right.
It only takes a split second.
But look how crucial it is too for like.
And then the great job the old lineman does here is when they get to the number, they're taught to just, when you get to the numbers, don't keep going to the sideline. Get your eyes downfield and go downfield, because if a player wants to get to the running back, they have to go through the numbers. So just go right down the numbers. The old line does a great job. 61 does a great job getting downfield. He's not going too fast, and he's just waiting for someone to come. And boom, great block right here, knocks him down. He's 2 for 1. Takes out two guys.
And that's your center.
Yeah.
Guys goes down. James Conner, he outruns everyone, gets in the end zone. They win the game. That's another episode of Ballin' with Bill.
Ballin'!
Ballin' with Bill.
Ballin'! Well, thank you guys for watching Ball with Bill.
Stick, Nick Leach, Joique Bill here. See you guys next Thursday.
Gang, gang.